Hey guys, welcome to Clash Royale League Asia. It is time for the playoffs for Group A today. Group B tomorrow. My name's G-Clef. With me is Paper Thin. How excited are you to get this one started? We have 4 teams left. Talon, OP.GAMING. Well, we have 2 more. Brand Esports, GameWin.
I'm really excited. This is going to be incredible action. The whole season has been amazing. We've seen so much uniqueness here in Clash Royale League Asia. We've seen a lot of adaptation, a lot of new styles, a lot of, decks that are targeted directly at opponents, especially from Talon. I'm really excited to kick things off with them going against OP.GAMING, and I'm curious to see, will the experience that OP.GAMING has come through here for them? Can Expo Master, if he is the one that they decide to lean on this time, can he come through for them? Or will they put him back in the 2v2 because he's been so strong in that role as well? There's a lot of questions here at play just for our first match.
Yeah, because it is not the regular season, you have to choose one, and if you lose this all best of 3 until the grand finals, only the grand finals is best of 5. So until that, it's going to be the same format as the regular season, but the difference is if you lose a single match, a single series, you are going to be...
You go home. That's all there is. You're done.
Yes,
you're done.
Until the next season. That's what it is here. Group A, we have the 4 teams, 3rd place, 4th place going against each other, and the winner versus Brand Esports, 2nd place. And the winner of that match goes against GameWith, the 1st place from Group A. And we'll have the entire day for Group B tomorrow.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Of course, OP.GAMING does end up coming out over Detonation because they beat them in the regular season. What's interesting is OP.GAMING did beat Talon in the regular season as well, but it was on the very first day of the very first week. It was the 2nd match we had of the season. It was a close one. It was a 2v1. It went to the King of the Hill, but OP.GAMING was able to take it in the end.
Yeah, a long time ago, different patch. 2 patches ago, actually. Here is the tournament playoff here. We're only going to focus on the left side. Okay, match 1 to 3. You guys know what to do. Of course, the loser from match number 3 will actually go for that 3rd place match, and the grand finals day next Saturday. But the one moving out from GameWith versus someone who's going to be there is going to be going up in the grand finals as a finalist. So we will actually find one team that's going to the finals.
I mean, it is going to be crazy intense. All these teams are so good that it is just going to be so fun. I expect a lot of King of the Hills. I expect a lot of very close matches that go to that 5th game in the King of the Hill even. So you can take a look at our 2 teams, how they match up against each other with their results this season. You can see here Talon was a little bit better overall in their matches, 5 and 6 versus 4 and 7. Sets were pretty darn close, 13-16 to versus 12 and 17. So just 1 set difference between the 2 of them. And you can see here that OP.GAMING was a little bit stronger in their 2v2, whereas Talon is a little bit stronger in their 1v1 in King of the Hill. So it almost feels like that should definitely give them an advantage here.
Overall, I think Talon is much more stronger. OP.GAMING in a trend. They have been winning a lot in the beginning of the phase number 1 especially, but ever since then they have been losing a lot of power with the switch from Expo Master from 2v2 into 1v1 as you mentioned, and he might actually switch back into 2v2. That's possible, but I think it's likely, a lot more likely to have Expo coming for 1v1. Here's everything that happened between the teams and what happened during the season and how good they were. Talon especially, I see a lot of blues wins on that 1v1. That's their power.
Yeah, they've been playing really well in 1v1s. They read their opponents really well, and they build their decks around their opponents. They don't just play meta stuff all the time. Sometimes, of course, they like to do that, especially players like Yu-Gi-Art and a few others have been a little more traditional, but somebody like SB, if he ends up going in the 1v1, he is somebody who brings some really unique and interesting decks to just counter his opponent.
Talon versus OP.GAMING. Winner moves on to the next round. We have Talon. all members from different countries. Xiake from Taiwan, The Rock from Singapore, SB from Australia, Master Hong from Hong Kong, Yu-Gi-Art from USA. So this team certainly bringing lots of kicks. 3 players from AHQ last year, The Rock from Kicks, and both teams did not have the best result last year, coming in from 2018 Season 1 and 2, but they're moving into playoffs this time.
Yeah, of course, it looks like they're going to be going up against OP.GAMING. We can see Expo Master there hanging out in the middle. You've got Dabong on the left and Weechan and Asher over there on the right. So this should be pretty interesting. I mean, a lot of it's going to come down to, okay, we're going to find out who's going to do what here. Okay, so it will be Expo Master in that 1v1 set against Yu-Gi-Art. So that's going to be really fascinating. Can Expo Master turn it around? Frankly, he has been disappointing in 1v1s this season.
Yes, by far, because he was supposed to be the one coming into OP.GAMING from Kingdom Dragon X last year. Kingdom Dragon X had one of the best results, actually was the Season 2 champions of 2018, but his expectation was still there, but the results pretty poor for Expo Master, especially on that 1v1. But for Yu-Gi-Art, in terms of the other side, I think Yu-Gi-Art had a lot better results in total, and the bans are pretty Inferno Tower standard, but banning also the poison. I think Expo Master is up to something here.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Expo Master kind of has a sense of what Yu-Gi-Art likes to do, and Yu-Gi-Art likes to play a lot of P.E.K.K.A., a lot of Battle Ram, and that kind of thing. It's been his favorite and most consistent decks, and usually you're running the poison with that deck, so I think that's a bit of a targeted ban. Maybe there's some other things going on there as well.
Yep, we can talk about that in 1v1 when it's coming very soon, but for 2v2, SP and The Rock, they have been having the pair so far for the set, only 50%, but what they are really good at is running everything. Especially SP having 4 out of 4, Royal Giant on that 2v2, so a lot of good stats following up. Even Goblin Giant Sparky, of course, really good. Giant Skeleton, which is banned, they still have 2 out of 2, 100% win rate so far.
Yeah, they've been actually pretty solid despite the fact that they're all across the board. They've been okay at 2v2s, and I think this is probably Talon thinking, okay, let's put our better 2v2 out there. They have been the better of them. And then, you know, let's give Yu-Gi-Art a chance, because Yu-Gi-Art, he's capable. I mean, he's 2-2 in his 1v1 sets, and he's played well in King of the Hill. He's 7-5. So, you know, this is a guy that they can rely on in their 1v1s as well. And even though SB, I think, maybe has been a little bit better in the 1v1s in a way, overall, you know, Yu-Gi-Art is very capable.
Yep, SB has been doing really well just in the recent few matches for sure. It's time for 2v2. What's OP.GAMING also going to bring? They will bring some expo, a lot of different ones compared to the other teams. Let's see, their 2v2 seems to be a little bit different, and also one of the teams that focuses onto the bomb tower.
Ah, yeah, the bomb tower became very popular last season because of the Royal Hogs usage. That has since died down, so we haven't seen as much of the bomb tower, but it's still quite useful against the golem and the giant, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. When the giant skeleton was banned, we did see a lot of RG, of course, but with tornadoes also banned, it's time for lavas, and that's the pair we see a lot from the 2v2. And both teams trying to wait till the actual one. We do see that lava hound coming out from Talon.
Ooh, Graveyard, Dark Prince. Mini P.E.K.K.A here to deal with that Dark Prince, and that looks like a defensive poison here from SB to help clean up that Graveyard. It doesn't look like they will get just many hits in there, just one little tick of damage in there.
Mini P.E.K.K.A actually has one of the lowest win rate in Asia, for sure. About less than 20%, counting all the 1v1 and 2v2 together. So let's see how well they actually do. Against a specific target like Golem, Giant, Mini P.E.K.K.A can be great. There are lots of spells that can stop it from doing that.
Yeah, it's primarily a defensive unit, really. You're not going to get away with bridge spamming it in this league. All right, another Graveyard. This time the freeze comes down. So a few hits coming in from these skeletons. There's a couple on the top side of it that did some damage there.
Yeah, even had to get that E-Wiz dropped right on top. Lumberjack was in that freeze along with that tower. So a few more scratches taken from those skeletons. Now Talon dropping some more elixirs because of that.
Yeah, and that's a bit of an unfortunate situation for Talon because they want that Lumberjack to be used in an offensive push.
And the Lumberjack connects to the tower. The lava drops just a little too late.
Oh, that Musketeer just not in time. Now let's see if they can get this push going with this Lava Hound and an Inferno Dragon, but there's an E-Wiz here, so makes it a little more difficult for that Inferno Dragon to get his charge going, and in fact he is wiped out quite quickly.
That Lava Inferno did not do a single thing on top of OP.GAMING. They're pushing really well, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A against... Okay, does have the poison, defensive poison, so that's not as bad. So it's still getting some damage.
Yeah, another hit in there right at the end. All right, trying to build up for the Lumberjack push now. There's a Dark Prince and some skeletons. They are cleaned up pretty quickly. A Lightning here to take out the Musketeer.
And then it's going to connect. Baby Dragon does connect, but still too much damage locked onto the tower directly.
Yeah, and that's still a pretty healthy Baby Dragon, and the Lava Hound. The Lava Hound is getting chewed up pretty quickly. And the pups do a little bit of damage, but not much damage done to the King Tower, actually. Now we got the push on the bottom left.
Yeah, this one is a dangerous with that potential freeze, but don't even need it. Talon's only going to focus on their attack onto the right side. Here comes that Inferno Tower this time. What can Talon do? Another Lightning in time?
Yeah, if they got the Lightning in cycle, they can use it, but they opt to not use it this time. They go for the guards and the Lumberjack over here, drawing that P.E.K.K.A away from the pups so they can try and get on the tower. But the defense is strong here from OP.GAMING.
Yeah, but still got the second set of pups actually lining onto that tower. There's that Lightning coming down. Miner is gone, but still the Inferno Dragon does survive.
Musketeer is there to help clean it up. A few belches from the pup do lower that top right Princess Tower very much. And there's that Mini P.E.K.K.A. Great counter to the Dark Prince there.
So against the Graveyard, Talon's having somewhat of a tough time to actually defend it. They have Lumberjack, but they want to pair it up with their own Lava. Comes an defensive Inferno and the Poison too.
Yeah, interesting choice trying to go for the King Tower. It is very much more damage than the Princess, so they got to try and make something happen there. Here comes another big push. We've already got the pups out. A Snowball will help clean that up relatively quickly.
They want to connect the Rage onto multiple targets. Here comes the Inferno Dragon with that Rage, but with that Baby Dragon, it's going to be just gone at a time. So which one do you go for? Do you actually go for that bottom King Tower for OP.GAMING? Do you think you have chance? Graveyard a lot weaker against the King Tower on 2v2 though.
Yeah, with the freeze there, I don't know. And you've got enough. There's not as much room to work with, so it's pretty difficult. I mean, they do get quite a bit of damage out of that.
That was about like 550 damage from that Graveyard. Here comes the offensive poison this time from Talon. As the Miner connecting a few more damage down to 700.
Yep, saving that Miner here for the end. Getting a decent amount of damage, so they're a little bit ahead. They got to make defense work, and it also makes it harder to push the King Tower because a lot of your units that you're using for defense you can't follow up with on the right-hand side.
Here comes a big push. The Lumberjack going straight in with that Rage. Baby Dragon does connect to the tower, but will it be in time? And there's some Graveyard action on the bottom, but with that Baby Dragon on the Rage, Talon is going to grab that first 2v2, an important win for them.
Nice turnaround there by them, abandoning, knowing the right time to abandon that left-hand Princess Tower and set up another big push on the right. It didn't do a ton of damage, but it did enough to buy them some more time, and I like the idea of saving that Miner for the very end because that really caught OP.GAMING off guard, I think, and they weren't able to drop a unit right where the Miner was going to be, and then you get a few extra shovel hits out of it in a more needed situation.
Yeah, I understand the reason why OP.GAMING went for that King Tower from the left side. Because if you have the Princess Tower and all the baby dragons and the Mega Minion and everything connected to the push of Talon's Lava Hound, then it's going to be, your graveyard is just going to be less powerful all the time. You just want that elixir to be wasted. You want some freeze to connect actually to that King Tower. But when you do not finish a game with that first crown, graveyard winning condition just becomes so much weaker all the time.
Right. You can see their great use of lightning as well by Talon. They really got a lot of value out of those lightnings, getting the Musketeers, you know, oftentimes waiting for the Dark Prince's shield to be down so they can hit him as well and getting a baby dragon. You know, lightning doesn't outright kill a baby dragon, but it puts him pretty darn weak.
And Talon had a lot of baby dragon. Infernal Dragon, I think that was one of... Baby dragon actually takes so much shots, and you need like a really good single target damage like an Infernal Dragon to connect to it for some time to actually delete that giant dragon in the air. So that was a really good push. Instead of just having its only Inferno Tower, they also have the Dragon ready.
Exactly. Let's find out what OP.GAMING will change here as we get into the second game of this set. Talon's up 1-0.
Here we go. Talon, they're about to take this away from OP. There were some shaky moments from Talon when the graveyard, well, especially for that first one on the left, because they had a mini P.E.K.K.A., they were having some trouble deleting all those skeletons.
Yeah, the mini P.E.K.K.A. is great for the Dark Prince. It's not bad in defending against Graveyard, but it's not as good as the Lumberjack, for example, which is a little bit better.
Yeah, they only had one Lumberjack, and they wanted to pair that up with the Rage so bad. And Skeleton Barrel.
Whoa.
Along with the wall breakers.
Oh boy.
And the Miner, they will just straight up connect.
Oh no, that's so much damage being done.
That's tower gone because they dropped the golem. They don't even have anything in their hands to defend against it.
Oh my gosh, they got to make this work. Now there's a decent amount of elixir, but that's just a rocket is all they have available. It's a great rocket. Does a ton of damage.
Hit everything, so that's a great defense. So good that they had a rocket right there deleting the Dark Prince and the Prince together.
I was just like, all right, Inferno Tower or something, and the rocket's the right answer there. Wow.
Yeah, they got the shield off from the Dark Prince too, so that was also deleted just in a second. Yeah, with the Dark Goblin 4 more shots into the King Tower, that brings it down to our past 2013.
That's crazy here. Great setup and execution by Talon, and there was even an Inferno Tower available.
I think they can just run away with this. I think it's certainly possible that guards against the Prince, the Golem's pretty safe, but there's that defensive Prince and the Mega Minion now.
Yeah, the Prince is okay against the Golem. It'll get you a decent amount of damage. Miner in the back to help deal with the Electro Wizard and that Prince there, the Mega Minion, helping clean up some of that mess as well. But that was a decent push there from OP.GAMING. That did a lot more damage than probably Talon would have liked with being purely on the defensive.
They didn't have everything together to rocket it this time. I think Talon's only holding one rocket, so they gotta use that one rocket at a time, or the Inferno Tower switching back and forth between the waves. Here comes another attack with the wall breakers.
Yep, this time the Dark Prince is there to clean up the wall breakers before they can get their explosion damage onto that tower. So now we got another Golem push on the left. Dark Prince and Omega.
Yeah, another Golem push on the left, and the Prince actually goes to right to defend against the Dark Prince. So many Dark Goblins and Dark Princes.
I know.
And the Rascals do come, but there's that poison. That seems really good.
Yeah, this is going to be tower down for sure here, so OP.GAMING is able to turn it around. Talon's got to find a way in, but I think Weechan just grazed his hand. He might have had a technical issue here. We'll see exactly what happened. This one kind of plays out. That was a tower again, so they evened it up, OP.GAMING did.
And then they keep on pushing with that. Both Dark Prince charging into the Prince, but they are just going to be gone. Even Megamini getting just one right now, but the Golem's still coming.
Yeah, they're having a tough time finding an answer for this Golem. The Inferno Tower is nice.
That poison is lovely.
Yeah, right on top of it. They've got Earthquake as well in here to help deal with this Inferno Tower. So the follow-up defense from Talon, not quite as strong here. They're trying to make a push onto the King Tower.
Skeleton Barrel, but they do have the Baby Dragon, so that's going to be wiped out. A lot of elixirs gone just from that Baby Dragon and the bats there along the zap.
Oh, Golem in the pocket now as it's going to try to make its way in immediately.
They have the Inferno Tower right away. They do, and then they pocket it right in front of the King Tower, but with that Earthquake predicted. And the Golem death damage does get the second tower. That's going to be a win for OP.GAMING this time.
There they go. I guess I'm not exactly sure what happened with Weechan, but they still made it work.
Yeah.
That was a nice job to recover from that very early tower down situation. And even though it's crazy, I mean, OP.GAMING, they didn't take any damage on that first Golem push. Basically, I mean, a little bit, but not much. And then they just couldn't defend.
Yeah, as soon as you have your Earthquake, it becomes so much easier. And then if you get the first crown down, the second crown, you have a lot less space to actually control your Inferno Tower. If it's too far away, the small units are just going to get it. So you can make easy predictions. That's why Earthquake came before the tower. They just knew, okay, the only way of breaking this Golem is by having that Inferno Tower, so we know it. And it helped so much along with that poison, so they had OP.GAMING had really great spell combos.
Yeah, they did. It was really well executed by them despite going down in that first Princess Tower. So let's see what they've got in this last game. Will they stick with the Golem double Prince, or will it be something a little bit different? I like the idea from Talon trying to catch OP.GAMING off guard. In fact, they did on the very first push, but after that, the defense just wasn't there for them. They weren't able to maintain their advantage.
They bring their best. They had not the best. Compared to the other decks, the best one was the Golem. Compared to the RG, compared to the Lava, compared to the Witch. So they bring their confident deck and they make it work with having Earthquake, which is not common coming down from OP.GAMING at all. It's usually the Japanese or the Southeast Asian team actually using that Earthquake in 2v2. We don't really see that Earthquake in 2v2 anymore too much because we have so many more Lava Hounds these days.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it becomes a little risky to bring it, and especially with a Golem. Usually you're seeing it even in 2v2 paired up with the Hog Rider, typically, or a Giant. Here with the Golem is a really nice decision here by OP.GAMING, and was probably one of the, if not the biggest key to their victory.
Yeah, also for SP and The Rock, they've been running a lot of different pair-ups for 2v2, so they can literally bring anything. Even having the Dark Goblin in the previous game, I think that was a really good addition. It was cleaning up. It took a lot of time to get the Golem and the Baby Dragon. Somewhat unlucky matchup there, but I think it has worth.
Yeah. Let's see what they've got here for the deciding game of this set. It's game number 3. And also the Dark Goblin, we've seen it be really effective against Graveyard. So if they did bring that again, it's a really nice tool to have in that situation.
The attack speed is so much faster than the Musketeer. It can actually be behind the King Tower and attacking onto all those skeletons. That's even after the nerf. Nerf did hit a few months ago.
Yeah.
Only like
it's still really
0.05 second nerf on the attack speed.
Yeah, it's still really good. All right, well, let's see what SB and The Rock can do in this game. If they're going to make it, looks like a pretty decent change here, maybe with the bats. We'll see exactly. Nobody wants to reveal what they were thinking about doing yet, and SB and The Rock are talking it over, trying to decide if they want to reveal their plan.
Yeah, just by bats and skeletons, we can sort of guess that they want to bring some cycles. And Talon did not try too many hog cycles this time. It was actually lots of Korean teams trying that for 2v2. But let's see if OP.GAMING is ready up against that. Just having one Inferno Tower and the Bomb Tower was actually enough against all those hogs or Royal hogs.
Yeah, it's going to be very fascinating. I mean, now we get the emote battle.
Which is not too common in 2v2. We have a lot more in 1v1 because they don't usually wait for 20 elixirs.
Yeah, we don't usually wait in 2v2. like I can't remember it happening this
Is
season.
it just coming down to Golem? I mean, skeletons could just be in for against the Prince.
Right.
I mean, to delay all the Prince charge damage and just to have that go away.
Yeah, I could just be Golem versus Golem here, something like that, something heavy.
Or like a lava clone?
Maybe.
We're waiting.
Yeah, we just get to wait.
Time's ticking. 5 seconds till that double elixir time.
And
single game to decide the first set winner.
And go. Oh boy.
Wow.
Oh no. We're doing this again. You know
what's
what's interesting
the
here
final
is
15 seconds?
Depending on what, like if one of these teams does something crazy where it's just like, all right, we're just going to try to win in a first push faster than
it
you
might
can.
just be the race.
Yeah.
It might just be, sometimes you do have one team bringing that golem and then the other team just has like Ram Rider or something.
Right.
With the speed, Ram Rider basically just wins.
Right, you get a Lumberjack and a Ram Rider and like some other stuff going on.
There's
Okay.
that golem, OP.GAMING having the same. There's that blue with the Lumberjack. We were expecting this from Talon.
Yep, okay, that Lumberjack is on in there. And that balloon is going to get raged up here on the top right. The Electro Wizard does come down, so it's just the death damage. So that push in and of itself will not work. On the left,
And
it's
Inferno
just
Tower is already gone on the left against the golem. Golem connects the death damage to down to 1391.
Oh, this is brutal.
And the Dark Prince is coming.
Oh, it gets the charge, but it doesn't finish it off. So that's basically even in a way, except the bottom right took some damage. Now let's see if Talon can get this going with this balloon. Now they're ready for it.
Do they have the freeze? I can smell it. They were just throwing that down, and it's just going to be gone. Miner's connecting some damage, but the push from the bottom right, that's pretty big.
Oh, they got to defend it in time. The
79!
The bats are on it. They just need a spell up at the top right.
With
There's
the
two
bats,
poisons.
there's defensive bats, but the
freeze.
poison! And that's going to get it with the spell damage, OP.GAMING. Talon was just 79 damage away from taking the set here.
Oh my goodness, that was so close.
All their practices, we practiced it for weeks. That's over. But they gotta, if they win the match though, they gotta play one more 2v2.
I know, it's not over yet. Oh my gosh, okay, that is the GOAT. That is the GOAT post-game celebration. That is the best one we've seen.
Hope they have an extra copy for next match. if they advance after defeating Talon, but Talon is up for another challenge because Expo Master is going to come up, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been certainly doing a lot of great games, especially when we have these kind of pressure situations.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very capable of taking this for sure, especially with the struggles that we've seen from Expo Master. And here you can kind of see the highlights from this 2v2 set before we get into our 1v1, which we are very excited about. Of course, it looked very good for Talon.
I know, it feels totally like a different game because this game matters so much more. Just a single game, every single game, bringing you closer to that playoff finals. So first game, Talon didn't take it, but the comeback of OP.GAMING, and the Earthquake was the big one here against the Inferno Tower, which is exactly the same story on Game 3.
Yeah, it was just not enough. I mean, the push worked, but then you've only got that balloon you get one chance with that balloon in that situation. After that, your opponent for sure is going to have an E-Wiz or a Mega Minion or Bats or whatever they need to defend against it.
So for Game 3, Talon, they had freeze. I was expecting that because they were just dropping hot balloon here. So okay, they gotta have freeze. So they didn't use it right here on the bridge.
Right.
And they used it after all the way. Maybe
the bats got through, and that's a big deal. Look how much damage those bats did, and then the double poison is going to come down, and then there's a freeze there, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, defensive freeze. I think they had freeze, but waiting for a perfect chance maybe to connect to the tower along with the units.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think freeze was just enough on the bridge, deleting all the bats and just freezing all the targets from actually going into their own tower. I think that was a better choice if they had enough elixirs to do so at the moment. But it was a pretty crazy situation.
Yeah, I mean, it was intense. It was really intense. It was so close there. Okay, now we can talk about this. Yu-Gi-Oh's banning the Inferno Tower. That, to me, just feels like more of he had success with it the last time he did it, because you can't really ban anything against Expo Master because he plays so many different types of decks. I mean, it's just crazy when you look through the list of different things that he's played this season. I don't think you can really target a ban against him.
Yeah, Expo Master for 1v1 set score, 1-4, certainly not too good. He's been trying for one of the better ones, the Graveyard, Flying Machine Zappies with the Graveyard, Barbarian with the Minion Horde, Elixir Collector, those were just some options. Like, he was having a lot of cheap cycle decks, but it wasn't really succeeding too many times for Expo Master. For Yugi Art, though, he has been trying a lot of different stuff. Actually has really good win rate with 8 out of 12 poison. That's why it was target banned here.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's also 100% with P.E.K.K.A. Battle Ram. So that's definitely a great ban here by Expo Master.
Yeah, let's see. 1v1. It's on. So OP.GAMING expects if Expo Master takes this, it will go straight into that next match of playoff. Yugi Art is here to defend it.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really intense. Expo Master has so much experience in Clash Royale League Asia, a veteran, one of our best players for a long time. Magic Archer here from Yugi Art. And we've got archers from Expo Master. Look, yep, the Mortar. I was just about to say with the archers, I suspect Mortar, since the Inferno Tower is banned. Didn't expect the Hog Earthquake deck.
This is probably Battle Ram with that Battle Ram and the Lumberjack, but Yugi Art is not too happy, or instead of it's the Ram Rider here.
Ram Rider, yep.
And the snowball missed on the Expo Master. What was that?
Whoa! Whoa, that was weird.
It just went off the screen, basically. That Ram Rider gets a charge and 3 damage with the snares even onto the archers.
Now the Bandit's gonna come in and get some hits, so bit of a misplay there by Expo Master to start things off, and Yugi Art here with the Ram Rider. Usually you see this one, yeah, with the Battle Ram, and then there's maybe an Inferno Dragon or something like that.
Yep, exactly. That's the one we've seen before. Here comes set of Royal Hogs.
Yep, great placement with that Magic Archer. You're going to catch a lot more of the Royal Hogs, in theory, because they usually line up along the top of the Princess Tower.
Yeah, Magic Archer is actually not too bad. And with the Lumberjack, the Royal Hog's not going to do too much damage at all. But with a pretty good Mortar placement, it can actually be really hard to get the Magic Archer damage.
Yeah, look at that Bandit, just got kited all the way around the outside. Okay, he's going to sacrifice that tower to try to get the Mortar in. Very good Ice Golem placement that will distract the Mortar for a little bit here for Yugi Art as he tries to set up for another attack here, and it will be the Magic Archer, but immediately the Barbarian Barrel comes down.
Knew that Bar Barrel was going to be coming down anyhow really close to that bridge, so it doesn't put it directly on it.
Just one out of the
Still runs away for 1576. And a perfect timing from that Royal Hogs.
Here comes the Rocket. Good snowball, though, to keep those Royal Hogs off. They only get 1 hit. So that's well defended by Yugi Art with 40 seconds left here. Can he find a way to maintain his lead and keep that damage low enough onto that tower?
Yeah,
so
just like Expo decks, Motor decks will have so much less placement damage. That's why instead of splitting the Royal Hogs, you will actually get all the way in.
He's going to get at least 2 shots out of that. If he can prevent 3, he does. For now, he keeps his tower out of rocket range.
It's not in rocket range, so we need about 205 more to be in that rocket range. And Yugi Art, all he has to do is just defend it. He has some more spells coming down.
Oh boy, that's a lot of Royal Hogs. He doesn't have much. The Barbarian Barrel does come through.
Not enough time for rocket travel.
Yep, not enough time and not enough damage.
That's it. Yugi Art takes game number 1. What a great showing. And even though I can feel the tension between the two players. And what an uncharacteristic mistake by Expo Master in the middle. Just having that snowball. Sometimes you let your finger go, and then as you're letting that finger go, it just travels with you.
Yeah, you can I've had this happen to me where I glance the side of my screen with the side of my thumb on accident when I'm trying to do stuff fast. So that can happen from time to time. And I think it was just probably he just slipped, like you said.
Or maybe he didn't think about his own Mortar placement, that it was going to be dragged by the Mortar, which is very unlikely from a top-tier player from Korea. So you can feel that this is still the same game, still the same game. They're playing on the same stage, but the amount of pressure that they have for every single game is actually making it so much harder for them.
Yeah, that's very true. There is a lot of nerves that come into play when you get into the playoffs. The regular season is one thing. This is where it all matters, because if you lose this match, then your season is done.
That was a beautiful deck play by Yugi Art there. Magic Archer, which actually Expo Master brought it once, and which is not the most common card for sure in any region, not in China, not in Asia, not in West for sure. And that's going to be a timeout for OP.GAMING for now, because they want to escape this one without going to that King of the Hill.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and we always used to joke that Expo Master would lose the first game in the 1v1 sets, but this year he's actually been losing the either the second or third game as well. It hasn't been his year so far, but there's some smiles and some laughter on OP Gaming, so they're feeling confident about whatever they're going to do next, or at least...
And this could be the big moment for Yu-Gi-Oh! Too.
Yeah, I mean, will Yu-Gi-Oh! Go back? You know, we know he's very comfortable with Sparky decks. Will he try something like that? P.E.K.K.A. decks are going to be a little more difficult for him to use because he really likes to use the Battle Ram or the Ram Rider.
His Lava Clone did not have the best result. I think Sparky's still not bad, but it also did not have like a positive result compared to, like, if you're having 50% at 0. P.E.K.K.A. Ram, I think that's one of the most common ones, so I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Has brought something unexpected coming out into this one.
Yeah, definitely. I can see him doing something. Or he could even do P.E.K.K.A. Battle Ram and just throw in a different spell instead of poison.
Or if we go really, really far, we can go for the outliers, like Bombers.
Yep.
Executioner.
Yeah, we've seen it once.
We've seen it.
We haven't seen Bomber this season, though.
Not at all. We've seen Wall Breakers just now and a few more times, but that's it. Will Yu-Gi-Oh! Does he have the power to take this second set?
We didn't get to see Barb Hut this season either.
Yep, no Barbut and no E-Barbs.
Sad. Well, the E-Barbs, I mean.
I'm not sad.
I'm not sad about that. I'm never sad about not seeing their player.
Yeah, with that Poison Ban, it's possible that Earthquake would come down, but with that Poison Ban, your buildings are going to get a lot more chance of just surviving for a lot longer time. I think buildings are just fine. We've seen a lot of RG with that Goblin Hut along with that Furnace. That's been just popular all around the globe.
Yeah, with the Inferno Tower being banned, it's kind of weird because really the Earthquake's only used in that Hog deck. I mean, occasionally you see it with a Giant, but for the most part, it's basically in that Hog deck. And if you remove the Inferno Tower, it makes it a lot more difficult to run that deck because your, anti-beatdown defense is severely weakened.
You had a lot of just somewhat of a trendy deck goes the Giant Miner along with that Hunter.
Yeah.
Instead of the Musketeer, that has been just climbing up a lot, one step at a time. Now it's like actually really, really trendy along with that Minion Horde. And those are the styles that Expo Master actually likes to play. Let's see if he goes back to his root.
Golems? Are we just going to get Golems just blam when we get down to the 1 minute mark?
Yeah, there are a few weird ones like the Giant Skeleton with RG.
Yeah.
Giant Skeleton Graveyard with Bowler. So
remember that?
We have a lot of crazy ones out there.
That Giant Skeleton Goblin Hut Witch deck we saw?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That was wild.
Which I believe it won.
Yes, it did.
It did win the game.
It did win. That was crazy town. Okay, Yu-Gi Arts just dropping the Lumberjack here.
What are you going to pair that up with? We've seen a lot of Minor Balloon. That Lumberjack. We can still have a lot of Ram Rider connecting to it.
Yep, Miner, defensive Miner here from Expo Master.
Haha, Golem, here we go.
Yep, okay, and Lava Hound from Expo Master. You knew it had to be something heavy here from both of them if they're waiting that long.
What? Miner's hitting the tower?
Got through from the defensive side.
Yeah, but you're not really worried.
Whoa.
There's that early clone. He wants maximum amount of bats.
Okay, yeah, but look at this. I mean, you still get the Fireball.
Even the Fireball? But it doesn't hit the Golem. Golem's going straight into it. Barbs. That's great defense.
Yes, but they're behind it, so the Golem's going to get raged up and get some punches in. Meanwhile, on the bottom, the Pups have split up and are doing a little bit of damage, but most of it is going into the Mega Minion. Another big push here coming from Expo Master.
Yeah, straight with the Barbarians, who took some death damage from the Golem, but the second Golem should be actually okay. But with so much damage coming down from Expo Master, even the Miner. See that Giant Snowballs, he's leading a lot of clones. All
right, does he have an answer here for these Pups? They do quite a bit of damage as there isn't anything else to distract them or attack them. He's only got the Golemites on this push with this Lumberjack, and the Barbs come down to stop it.
And right at the center. Just 5 Barbs surrounding your units. It's the best feeling and the worst feeling on either side. Comes another lava push, hot lava push, and the Golem to respond.
Yeah, he's trying to distract the Mega Minion and the Night Witch for a bit. Trying to get his own Night Witch going here, but there is now a Miner in the back of this as well to help take this when the Pups split apart. He has a Lumberjack.
So that's down to 200, 161, 71, 2 more shots from the Pup, and that's going to be it. Even without that Fireball damage, Expo Master does bring it back. We tie 1-1 again.
I'm fine with what Yu-Gi-Oh! Tried there. I mean, that was really something that would catch a lot of players off guard, but Expo Master's deck was well equipped to deal with it. He had the Snowball and the Fireball, And basically, you know, a lot of the other units available, like the bats actually help out a lot against those kind of units because they attack fast and that kind of thing.
I think it was the first time we had both players playing that Night Witch actually. So it was pretty uncommon, so many bats in the air and also the clone helping out. So because of the Inferno Tower ban, we have a lot of heavy ones coming down, but against the lava, it's understandable bringing that Golem, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Does like to play that Sparky, but when he goes up against the lava, does it actually do well when there's Barbarian surrounding your Sparky after you cross the bridge?
Yeah, there just isn't a lot of answers for the Lava Hound here. The pups especially were difficult for him to deal with. He has a Mega Minion, but that was about it. As well as a Baby Dragon that we saw, but again, those are, you know, it's not ideal, they're not bad, but those pushes were just too big.
Yeah, you don't have like a Tesla, you don't have the Inferno Tower, so what Yugi was also trying to do at the same time as Expo Master, my push is going to be stronger, my push is going to be better. That's all you're basically doing oftentimes, and lots of bridge spam, but of course with calculation, with a lot of spells, just Expo Master throwing down a lot of great spells to delete that clone early on until they build on a lot more, summon a lot more bats. And together, I think that was a good move, actually, just running down this replay here.
Yeah, this is one of those decks that we see from time to time from Talon where they feel like they've got a read on their opponents. They have something special in store for them. We saw this with SB with the Goblin Giant Sparky Mega Knight deck against Venzer, and I think this time they probably maybe felt like that that Expo Master was going to have a deck that was full of a lot of single target units. So therefore you can bring that clone in there, and then the clone bat is basically just as good as a regular bat, so it pairs well with that Night Witch.
Yeah, even the regular bats, they just go down from any damage.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter at all. That was pretty cool, having another clone deck here from Yu-Gi-Oh! Not going to succeed, but Expo Master has one more chance, and if he closes this one out, that's it for Talon. OP.GAMING will move out, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Might bring us to the King of the Hills. Let's get it ready.
I think he very well could. He smiles. There's the dab from the Expo Master. He prefers the dab emote. Yu-Gi-Oh! Prefers the Goblin on Fire oh, why can't I remember his name? Why am I spacing on it? Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
Jeez.
Hey, lots of players like that Goblin on Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that Inferno and the Poison Band together, especially against them. Yeah, to cancel that dash away. Great use, keeping no damage on it.
Ooh, Mega Knight here from Yu-Gi-Oh! So, Expo Master, a lot of this is going to depend on what he brought. A Tornado?
Oh, actually, with that slow, it makes the animation slow as it jumps onto the Ice Wizard.
There's that Ram Rider on the left-hand side, so this is the thing about Mega Knight, if you use a lot of defense on it, now he is going to be able to activate his King Tower with that Tornado.
Okay, activates the King Tower, but most of Yugi's damage onto the tower will be dashes and the jumps. So activating the King Tower doesn't matter as much.
I think this is Royal Giant from Expo Master, but I'm not 100% sure. It looks like one of the Royal Giant decks that you see from time to time with the Ice Wizard, the Tornado, the Skeleton.
Well, it's got the log, and you know what we're talking about with that Ice Expo
right.
Master bringing that signature Expo.
We haven't seen this in a long time, so this is exciting.
And possibly the matchmaking win here for Expo Master, bringing that signature, but he does like to have a lot more Teslas with it. So that's what we just had in history for years and years of seeing Expo Master play.
All right, the Fireball will be used to get that E-Wiz here. A little bit of damage done to that Ice Wizard, but Ice Wizards don't do a ton of damage to your Princess Towers, and in fact, the Inferno Dragon gets out ahead anyway.
No, you're lying. No, it doesn't.
Shush. Don't tell anybody. Trying to bait everyone on the ladder. All right. Oh gosh, that Ram Rider does get a hit in.
But not the charge, I believe. It was pushed by the log, so it's going to be okay. Inferno, because of that Ice Wizard and the Tornado. Oh, just fireballs going across the field all the time.
Good fireball there from Expo Master, catching both the Bandit and the E-Wiz. That's quite a bit of value he gets there.
The Inferno is going to be really tough when there are lots of small cycle units from Expo Master to actually get that Inferno out.
It's not the end of the world. It actually does okay against the Ice Wizard and the Mega Minions. So it's like, it's fine, but it's not ideal. It's not like the ideal unit you'd want in that slot.
Yeah, you're not really going against any of the heavy units like the Mega Knight, Golem, Lava that you would expect to. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Going to change things up, going for that left side now.
All right, let's see how Expo Master wants to defend this. Oh, not much there.
Charges into the tower before it gets blocked by the log.
That's a lot of damage being done there. 185.
That's it with the fireball.
Yep, just the fireball now. And let's see if Expo Master can turn this around with the Expo itself. It is a unit in front of it that has locked on, but the fireball is out, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Does win it, and we are going to the King of the Hill.
What we exactly wanted, and a good comeback by Yu-Gi-Oh! Expo Master does not seem like Expo Master today.
I'm a little surprised
he
actually went back to the Expo. We haven't seen him play it in so long. I mean, he didn't play it at all this season, I know that. And he didn't play it much in the last season.
I also think it's super risky when the Inferno Tower is banned. There's always a chance of RG all the time, even more with those bans. But had the guts, didn't really plan out, didn't really happen as the way he wanted to. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Coming back strong after that timeout. A great deck just charging into it. So just a little bit slow on all the ones. So with the Ram Rider, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to escape a few more wins here.
He had me convinced that it was going to be an RG from Expo Master because you see it paired a lot with the Ice Wizard and Tornado these days because you can get a 3.1 cycle.
Yeah, even 2.9 cycle.
Yeah,
That's totally possible with that Tornado Fireball. And yeah, there can be so many right now just pairing up those Ice Wizard, Mega Minion, Bar Barrel. It's just a few of the most common cards played.
But either way, that deck doesn't, even if it was Royal Giant instead of Expo, for example, it still doesn't stack up that great against the Mega Knight. The Mega Knight is actually kind of a problem sometimes.
Yeah, but the Inferno Dragon was also ready by Yu-Gi-Oh! At any time, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Had the secondary defensive lines of any units. Here's the third game, and this was actually the big moment where Expo Master had to use a lot more elixirs because of that jump from the Mega Knight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the radius on that Mega Knight's attack is kind of deceptive. It is pretty large, probably larger than you really expect sometimes. And that Ram Rider gets in there and does a lot of damage. And then at the end, it's just a fireball. And down goes Expo Master. We go to the King of the Hill here. We'll find out the lineup and the bans.
Yeah, even Pekka's getting a little bit excited. Here goes. Still Inferno Tower ban from Talon, and Sparky ban from OP.GAMING targeted against SP and Yu-Gi-Oh! Together.
Yeah, both of them have made very good use of Sparky this season. So that's not too surprising at all to see that get banned. I'm sad about it, but it is what it is. So it'll be Jacques, Yu-Gi-Oh! SB going here for Talon, and then Dabong TV, who has been very good at King of the Hill this season, Asher and Expo Master to round this out. This could go either way. There's a lot more experience on the side of OP.GAMING. I feel like just in terms of their, they've been playing for so long, especially Dabong and Expo Master. Of course, Asher is new.
Yeah, Dabong actually has the best win rate in the team from all the KOH games. He's actually really high, counting all the 1v1, 2v2 together. 61% win rate, so that's pretty high compared to all the other players in the team.
That's
so Shaki up here, he's also got a not bad overall result, but his 1v1 has been kind of poor compared to all the other players, and his best chance was actually Balloon having 2 out of 2.
Yeah, so let's see what Jacques is going to do for us today. You're right, we haven't seen him much in the 1v1 recently. It's been a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh!, a lot of SB. For a while, Master Hong was kind of doing the 1v1s, but Master Hong not in the roster for this particular matchup. And yeah, he's going up against Dabong TV, like you said, 61%. One of the stronger members in King of the Hill, and he's played a ton of King of the Hill games, 11 games played, and he's won 8 of them. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Dabong 3 out of 3 on RG.
I'm sorry, he's played 13 games. 13.
Yeah, he played a lot of games, and even likes to bring some Dark Goblins into 1v1. Go gang with Golem Night Witch, so certainly a player that does like to have a lot of heavy decks. Let's see what Shake will respond. It seems like we're having a lot of Golems tonight. First 1v1 of King of the Hill. Game 1, here we go.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a resurgence of Golem across the rest of the world here, so it looks like we're getting a bit more of it here in the Asia region.
Yeah,
we haven't seen a ton.
Yes. During the regular season, not too much compared to like China. China has been having like Golem versus Golem in the games.
Yeah.
here and there. That's a good push with that Ice Golem. I think that one, the general OP.GAMING ban, the Sparky actually means that, may hint that they're gonna bring another heavy dex into your like giant double prince that we haven't really not been seeing too much.
Or that. That one's pretty good too. An immediate balloon and minions, and a minion horde here placed as well. The snowball will knock those minions back, so this is, I think, just in time with another snowball.
That was so close. That could have actually landed on tower in just like 0.01 seconds more.
Yeah, that miner gets a ton of value there.
Yes.
Knocking out that elixir collector. So I thought that balloon was going to get through, but he just had enough elixir to get that snowball.
So it's going to be with the BRAM very likely the 3 musketeer, if it's not just a single musketeer, but that's still a great push. Coming down, charges in directly to the tower. Shake having some trouble defending against this.
Yeah, Shake, plenty of elixir, but decided to just use the barb barrel there to defend that. So takes quite a bit of damage while he sets up for his own attack.
Yeah, some minor balloon does have rascals in it, but I don't think this does. That's why he was actually just letting that go. But this balloon is going to connect with the dash on to the bottom left.
Yep, okay, so the death damage does equal it up here basically for Shake, so a wise decision to wait and opt to try to push with his own Ice Golem balloon push on the top right there, with the minions, of course, behind it as well.
Dabong does have a few more elixirs. Let's see how he uses this. Just drops a collector here, okay? You gotta be waiting for that miner to come.
Yep, okay. A bandit down here up at the top right, a Dark Prince as well.
But gives up the top right?
Oh, yeah, that's not good. I don't know if he has enough. The minion horde is too late. It's gonna get the drop. The death damage won't quite take it out, but it's going to be very, very close. 122 left.
He did save the collectors, so he can have the secondary push with the 3 musketeers. But that's 122. And with the next miner, that's going to be gone, and you only have 30 seconds to work on this.
All right, the miner right out front, so the bandit placement is not good enough, and that will be the first Princess Tower down here. Shake now needs to play defense. He's got 2 musketeers coming, battle ram on the right-hand side as well.
Yeah, good split. Dabong is everything right now that he wants to get on the left and the right together. Seems like right push is actually continuing with that musketeer and the minions.
Oh, and a Mega Knight will absolutely clean up all of this stuff. The bane of the 3 musketeers' existence, a Mega Knight. And that'll do it. Shake takes game number 1.
And a Mega Knight?
Yeah. I love Talon, man. They always do stuff where I'm like, I have no idea what you're thinking until it works, and I'm like, this is genius.
Yes, the moment you think that musketeers are getting through, just going through the bridge and saying, okay, it's gotta work. My one side has actually defended, used a lot of elixirs, but okay. That's a really cool deck.
We've been seeing this a lot recently, not a lot, but a little bit, where people will sub in Mega Knight in a deck where you just don't expect it, because like if they're not playing P.E.K.K.A or something like that, you can get a ton of value.
And that's why Shake was waiting until this moment, just getting that first Battle Ram charge through on the bottom left. We knew that if he had something like the Rascals or even the Musketeer to go against it, he would have put that down a long time ago. So it had to be something different, and Mega Knight was just too perfect against the 3 Musketeers.
Yep, it is absolutely such a huge counter.
Spawn damage is gigantic. It deletes a lot.
Yeah, 440 on that spawn damage. That's just almost all of the Musketeers.
I know, it's pretty heavy, man.
Yeah,
and all the metal around himself.
Yeah, he ain't light. He ain't swimming in that thing, that's for sure. All right, Asher is coming up now for OP.GAMING. And he's been kind of going more towards the 2v2 stuff lately, but we have seen him from time to time in 1v1.
And 1v1, he has been doing okay with the RG, which has been not coming out at all. He has 3 out of 4 with the RG and the Goblin Hut Furnace together. And not bad of a Golem too, just having 2 games on Golem, but of course certainly a 2v2 player for the team. Let's see what he brings in King of the Hills.
Yeah, he's done well in 1v1s when they've called upon him. He's 2-1. He beat Rhea. Rhea's one of the better 1v1 players we have here. And he beat King Zone's Alpha as well. So in King of the Hill, he's only had 3 games. He's 1-2. He did beat Onion, though, who was our King of the Hill expert this year, absolutely demolishing people in this league. We'll talk more about him when we get to see him tomorrow, since he's on kicks, and I'm excited for that. But now it's Asher versus Shake.
Yeah, let's see what Asher brings. It seems like he will bring a lot more standard, but a lot more focus on Shake. Got some unique decks coming out from this guy. Game number 2. Talon's winning 1-0.
There's that Ice Spirit one.
Legendary emote.
I know, I like that one a lot. It's like one of my favorite emotes. Because you can spam it a lot and it like just kind of keeps bouncing. It's really adorable. Well, we might wait again. The players on these teams have been playing really cautious. Really cautious. And heavy.
Yeah, heavy decks. I think we're just on it because, not just because of all the bans we are. It's been a lot more trendy within the last few weeks.
Yeah, definitely Beatdown making a resurgence here. You have some players that still do a lot of cycle.
And compared to Group B, Group A had a lot more heavier decks in terms. Group B prefers to play a lot more cycle compared to Group A.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, interestingly enough, one of those Fire Spirits jumped into that barrel. It actually, you can't damage that barrel, so that's...
Yeah, Two Elixir is so strong, man. Bar Barrel's actually one of the strongest, strongest spell out there.
So good. It's so good. Most played card.
Yep.
Clash Royale League Asia.
328 out of 473 games.
That's crazy.
In a season.
All right, Balloon here on the back of this from Shake.
Great fireball, just waiting in the perfect time.
Yeah, that was really, really well done there by Asher.
That's why you bring a fireball, just against Barbarians.
Exactly, exactly. Barbarians have become so popular. Now you absolutely can think about bringing a fireball back more often than we maybe used to see because of the resurgence of those Barbarians. Since they got the 5th Barbarian, they've become really good at defending larger units.
So very, very extremely likely RG from Asher. But waiting for that Barbarian timing, he does have the fireball. So how he wants to connect that over the bridge, I think that's the key. Shake, very likely, he also knows that it's the RG waiting for him.
Yep, there it is. It comes down in the left-hand lane. There is an Ice Golem there to block things up just a little bit, but immediately that Fireball is there. Another Furnace comes down, though, so this will buy enough time that they are going to be able to not take any shots from that Royal Giant.
Only damage been done by the Ice Golem on top left. Because of that Furnace, Shake actually buys a lot of time.
All right, so here comes this balloon push. There's a miner on the back end. The Lumberjack not correctly predicted to deal with it, but this balloon's going to get slowed up here by this E-Wizard. It is not enough with the Mega Minion slap as well.
Such a good defensive card. Mega Minion just getting everything out of the way. Ground or the air. So far, barely no damage done to any tower. Shake going to push a little bit more.
Yep, okay, we're going to get that miner in there again to try to buy time, but these Furnaces proving difficult, buying enough time here for Asher to get an E-Wiz. And there's something else down. Ooh! It does get the drop. That's huge.
That's crazy big. Lumberjack got a few scratches on the bottom, but it doesn't really matter anymore with that balloon drop. RG onto the right. Barbs should be ready, but he wants to go all out. It's about the speed. RG takes a long time to get that 2,000.
Yeah, if he can get this balloon here, all he needs is the one drop. The Furnace does come down in time to drag it, but the miner is hitting pretty hard as well. He just needs one more hit, but the E-Wiz is going to buy it. No, it does finish up.
Yeah, with that death damage from the balloon, it was just enough to get to the tower. And Shake is going to continue winning streak.
Wowzers.
So, one more game? That's going to be 3 in a row.
He's doing some interesting stuff here with Balloon Miner. That time, everything leading up to that balloon, I was almost like, is this like you sometimes see a miner with Royal Giant, not much, but the rest of the deck, I'm like, all right, Furnace, Barbs, Musketeer, I'm like, okay, that's pretty typical with Royal Giant. Nah, dog. Balloon.
Yeah, with the miner, it's more likely with the balloon or even the lava sometimes. So
sure.
With some crazy decks out there with the Barbs, because Barbarians just comes in a lot of the time, especially just thinking that your opponent's going to have that RG. Yeah, this connect was beautiful.
Yeah, a big moment there. Now, the one thing about the RG is he does take a little while to get his damage done. I mean, it is significant, but he is a bit of a slow shooter here. And you can see there that death damage just barely gets there.
Almost thought that was not going to connect.
I didn't think it was.
Yeah, it was. Actually, Furnace came down closer to it because it was late. Because of that RG just dropping that Mega Elixir onto the other side. So here goes the last player on OP.GAMING. Expo Master certainly did not show his skills at all in that 1v1 series today.
Or the entire season. It has been...
Not the entire season, but
well.
most of the games. Yeah, I'm just gonna retreat just
okay, you can...
1/6 of a step here.
Yeah, I mean, he just hasn't been great in 1v1s. That's just all you can say. Well, I mean, you think he's capable of it. You just kind of feel it. You're like, okay, this guy's good enough that he can absolutely 100% turn this around.
Yeah.
And 3-0 talent.
Yeah, this is the time for him to bring it because he came into the team having a role. You have to carry the team because that's what he did in Kingdom Dragon X last year. And if he's not showing up with the results, actually don't know what's going to happen. Between the season, there's a big trading period in the middle of the season. Let's see, Expo Master, can he actually do this one? Or is it going to be Shake finishing things off with a 3-0? Currently, Talon taking 2-0. Lead against OP.GAMING. Let's go into game number 3, King of the Hill.
I mean, are we just going to do more balloon miner wackiness here, Shake? Like, that's fine with me. You're making it work.
Uh-huh.
But we'll see exactly what he wants to do here.
And what Expo will actually bring on his potential final game of the season.
Once again, we're going to wait a little bit. Kind of feel each other out, see exactly what they want to do. And, you know, sometimes you'll see players just throw out a snowball or something like that if they got it in their hand just to cycle it. But, all right, there's the Barbarian Barrel from Shake. He's going to initiate the action. A zap here from Expo Master.
Just the 2 elixir down from both. And I asked a lot of Korean players and what they actually do within their time, and they just think about what they have in the hand and the upcoming cycles and what they would do on their own hand, also to defend against potential opponent's deck. So it's good to just have all the image training, image practice within the game here.
Super interesting to see Zap out of Expo Master, considering the 2 ban cards. I mean, it usually these days we've been seeing Zap a lot in the Battle Ram P.E.K.K.A deck. But it's just kind of funny because it's like, well, it's good, but there's giant snowball.
Well, you still use lightning, but
sure,
against Inferno Tower. But I think what he's thinking is he wants a lot more instant kill among the small units like the skeletons or the spear goblins.
Yeah, the speed is a little higher.
That's
a good point.
And you don't need to get the travel time. Like the giant snowball, it's really big and it does some damage, but you need to wait for that travel time.
Very true. All right, let's see. Probably here pretty soon we might get some action, unless it's like that one game we had where they waited way longer than we would have ever
like
expected.
20 seconds or something.
Oh, it was wild. Oh, it might happen again. It might just be one player trying to just make a very fast push, trying to wait for their opponent.
Shake is not even blinking.
Shake's got to have a balloon.
He's in stasis. Never mind, he's moving. I thought I was gonna say he's in stasis.
Like dollars to donuts. I feel like Shake's got to have a balloon here, and he's just waiting to find which lane is going to be better.
What is it gonna be? Something like Ice Golem Minion Horde?
Maybe.
It's gotta be a big rush coming down.
Like minor balloon minions? I don't know.
Or some really cheap ones. Like it can still be like the Ram Rider Hogs.
You know, the last time this happened, I was really shocked, and now I'm just kind of perplexed.
The game's gonna be over very soon, guys.
Well, guys,
is your device?
Neither of them wants to make the first move. This is
okay. Sudden death mode. Here we go.
Mexican standoff time. They're just staring each other down. Neither one wants to reach for that gun. Go for the draw.
It's just like the mirror mode. If you play first, you lose. That's the rule in mirror mode. Of course, not the same rule here.
No. Look at this. We're going to leak 100 elixir. All this elixir is being wasted. This is...
Neither one of them actually making any kind of move.
Okay, there it is.
So there's it.
Oh, this is Expo Master with his own balloon from the Lumberjack.
Lightning!
Good.
Perfect spell!
Good lightning there. That's great.
Yeah, with that Inferno Tower ban, you wouldn't expect that lightning to come down.
All right, the Ice Bow, or the Ice Bow.
That's what Expo Master played last time.
Yeah.
So with this, what is Shake holding?
Not the Ice Bow.
Is it his own Valkyrie?
They both have Valkyrie, okay. Furnace here from
The
Shake.
Lumberjack on the back, and the balloon coming onto the left side with that Mega Minion in defense mode. Shakish.
Oh,
That
there's
freeze!
the freeze. A tornado does come here from Shake. I don't know if he has enough. Okay, the Mega Minion and the Baby Dragon will be enough there.
Also blocks the straight path into the tower. That's always one of the best moves. So what's the finishing blow card? Is it just going to be RG? It is art from Shake again.
Just beat me to it. I knew what it was. I'm like, this is definitely RG.
Another tornado. We were expecting this with that Ice Wizard coming down from Expo Master.
Okay, now we got that Lumberjack coming through. Valkyrie on the left with the balloon. You don't always need that raged up Lumberjack. He does get a few swipes in himself, though, on the bottom right.
And the balloon goes straight into that furnace, but with that extra Princess Tower locking onto it. No straight damage, but Lumberjack did connect somewhat.
Yep, the Lumberjack is great. And with the tornado as well, will prevent the Royal Giant from doing any shots here. So that's a nice defense that Expo Master has available. Another balloon's coming in. This one's raged up. There is a freeze. Good tornado, and the furnace is available.
Yeah, nice drag here, but still survives just a little bit longer. It does lock onto the balloon. And with that diversion just before reaching it to the tower, Baby Dragon coming in hot.
Excellent placement on that Baby Dragon. It body blocked the balloon from getting in and bought the Princess Tower enough time to do its damage. But another big push coming in with the balloon here. So Shake getting a taste of his own medicine this game.
Yeah, another tornado. Shake is looking to really take that away, and the furnace does not. Good drag with that furnace all the time. So Shake is looking for that perfect opportunity with that RG.
I
with
think
that lightning together.
He's got to build something behind this RG so this Lumberjack tornado combo isn't enough to take it down. And this time, you know, it's again with that slow as well.
The Lumberjack actually gets dragged, so it doesn't get lightning here. So it does survive and destroys that furnace too.
Yeah, you can see Jake a little upset. He does go down here. Expo Master takes it. We ran out of time, and that was a long one.
Yeah, without that Lumberjack, I think RJ could have got at least like one shot onto the top tower, which was still not going to be enough. I think it was off by like 200 HP onto the Princess Tower there. So you need 2 or more shots to make it happen. Still, Shake had a pretty good run, taking down 2 members of OP.GAMING.
Yeah, it was really well done by him. Some really unique decks coming out in the beginning. But here in the end, this Lumberjack Tornado combo, even though it does cost 1 more elixir, the fact that you still have that Lumberjack alive dropping his rage actually makes it very worth it after the fact. And that moment right there was big when that Lumberjack got through. And then the freezes, of course, forcing out the tornadoes and the furnaces and the Mega Minions, and then there's a zap there as well. And then just in time, the Baby Dragon body blocks it.
The tower does take death damage, so all these chips, small few hundred damage from coming down from the Lumberjack, death damage from the balloon, all added up to the finish here. Yeah, RG, even without that Inferno Tower, when that tornado is open, it moves pretty slow. So you can actually block all the shots.
Yeah, you gotta have something that can either hit through it, like a Dark Prince or something like that, or just something to help deal with that Lumberjack or whatever unit. Sometimes you don't see many P.E.K.K.A often in 1v1, but that could be a possibility, or the P.E.K.K.A as well. A tornado plus any of those units will make it so the Royal Giant does not get any shots.
Yeah, that's why a lot of Royal Giant decks do have guards in it to block a lot of the shots, having the shields, skeletons, so it's at least 6 shots. So within that time, like the Baby Dragon will be taking out the Lumberjack or things like that. Or RG would at least be getting few hits. So those are the more traditional decks. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Is back here. And is it going to be the time of that nightmare coming back from that 1v1 set today?
Maybe. I don't think we're going to see Golem Clone again, but maybe we'll see some Ram Rider stuff. He really likes the Ram Rider. Favored it in both of his wins there. So, or maybe Battle Ram as well. He's quite skilled with those Rider units. So we are getting into the 4th game of the King of the Hill. Talon's up 2-1.
Here we go. Ooh, spooky.
Yeah, the CRL #1. You're darn right, Yu-Gi Art. All right. Bar barrel. And the Snowball this time from Expo Master.
Expo Master, you can feel from the camera, you can just feel how nervous he is at the moment on stage. Still has to go through Yu-Gi-Oh! And SP if he wins this one.
Yeah, absolutely. He will slow up that Barbarian just enough that he doesn't get a hit in. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Nothing really revealed from either player's decks yet. Just pretty standard stuff so far.
Doesn't want to use any more elixir, spilling that out on the ground. So Yugi not too happy with that Dark. Just going to eat that dash with that shield.
He's going to opt to drop the Mega Knight earlier this time. Towards the back, it is the Royal Giant answering on the left-hand lane for Yu-Gi-Oh! He does have an Inferno Dragon available, but E-Wiz! Oh, that's bad. You got to use that Barb Barrel and the Snowball to get it off. But now on the right hand, what does Expo Master have to counter? It's a Prince behind it, but it will get quite a few hits in.
And even the Inferno, if it's left alone, will connect some damage onto the left side. So a little bit more for Yugi has been done with that jump and the Mega Knight.
This is the double Prince with the Royal Giant is a nice idea. It's hard. It's hard to get those pushes going, especially with the Mega Knight there.
You gotta be trading more when Yu-Gi-Oh's getting more damage. Instead of it, that means that Expo Master is going to have a tough time blocking the charge because he actually used that against the Inferno Dragon. So you can't really stop the charge having those mini zaps from the E-Wiz.
Right, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Does have an answer available to the E-Wiz with the Barbarian Barrel and the Snowball.
Great read on that RG here. Inferno Dragon does come in time.
This is what I'm talking about. The Mega Knights, you could drop it behind the Royal Giant. You don't care if you take a couple of hits because all of a sudden you have a ton of elixir being pushed. And we'll get the jump onto the tower here and the Ram Rider on the right as well.
And also getting that Prince some damage with that jump. Snowball to take the dash away, but that's not going to connect too well.
Gonna have to use the E-Wiz to slow up the charge from the Prince to make sure it does not get that damage in now. That push did a lot of damage, but the overall lead in Princess Tower damage is on this bottom left here.
So RG is still going to connect Tsushima shots, and this is going to be a tower trade. It seems like we're Expo Master really going for that defense.
Yeah, we're trying to get through here. Yu-Gi-Oh! Knew that he wasn't going to be able to defend that tower. He looks a little dejected. I don't think it's going to be available for him. He does get the charge, but it's not enough.
And with that, RG just pushes through with that E-Wiz stopping that Inferno Tower. Inferno Dragon all the time. That was actually what Expo Master exactly needed. And 2 down. What's happening, Paper Thin?
Well,
we're going to maximum game.
It's Expo Master. I mean, if anybody can do it, it's this guy. He's just so good when it comes to the clutch moments. You can see Dabog's over there. Got his hands in his head on the table.
He's about to have a heart attack, man.
Oh, man.
These are the moments. Your life-changing moments, and one of the most memorable moments. Will it stop here, or is it going to continue? It relies on your teammate's hand.
Well, I'm glad that Expo Master listened to me and put the Dark Prince or a Prince behind the RG there.
He listened
to me. He heard me all the way over there.
No way. It's got like 4 soundproof doors in between the stage and us here. But RG was not being able to stop. I mean, that was a big one. I think maybe even having the Ram Rider to snare onto that RG to slow it down even further.
It helps.
Yeah, it helps a lot, but only if you want that onto the left side because you're doing damage to the right side, so that doesn't really connect together.
Yeah, and it becomes a problem in that situation with the double Princes because those Princes are going to do pretty significant damage to the Ram Rider as it's trying to pass by. So it gets kind of weird. You can slow up the RG a bit with the Ram Rider, but in this situation, because of the Princes behind it.
Well, when we talk about RG, SP having 4 out of 4 wins on that game. And also, pretty good with Goblin Giant Sparky. Well, Sparky is banned, so that's locked out. But SP is pretty good with that Ram Rider Mega Knight that we have just seen from Expo Master and a few other players.
I was a little surprised that Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't go into the P.E.K.K.A. well there on that game. I thought maybe he might finally go for it when I saw the Bandit and the other things, but he did quickly cycle into that Mega Knight there.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh!'s P.E.K.K.A. Ram cycle is really good.
Yeah.
Has been really, really good, especially against the quick cycles, getting that really quick reflexes against the Hog Riders. But it was the perfect chance, but this is the last game. Winner, moves on to the next round. Is it going to be SB from Talon or Expo Master from OP.GAMING? Game number 5, King of the Hills.
Well, we said it at the beginning, these were going to be close today, no doubt about it. And we're going to our first Game 5 on the King of the Hill here.
I'm on. I don't even know how to say this. I'm getting chills, but I'm getting fired up at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's that weird thing that happens in a game like this. All right, the snowball is going to push that Ewiz
Charges
up.
into Ewiz, perfect time.
All right, this time we got the P.E.K.K.A. from SB, so I think they read the situation here. Now is Expo Master, what is his answer this time? Is it Giant Double Prince? Is it Royal Giant Double Prince? We will find out maybe in a little bit.
Could be sticking into the same one with that RG, but we've seen a lot of Giants Double Prince during the regular season.
And it's actually not bad against the P.E.K.K.A. decks. Because actually what you could do is put the regular Prince behind the Giant if it is the regular Giant, and actually the Prince will hit through it and do quite a bit of damage. It's okay, it's the Royal Giant again this time.
And no P.E.K.K.A. in that hand of SP at the moment. So going to take a few direct hits into the tower.
Oh, and a
lightning! Oh, that's painful!
Oh, no.
That's tower down, guys, unless something else just comes in right away.
Yeah, SB knows it. He's got to let this one go. He can't afford to. Oh, my gosh.
Minute 30 to go, but 2 perfect towers on top.
Expo Master is absolutely reading these situations just perfectly in this King of the Hill. This is the man coming back for his team here. It hasn't been his best season. Is the Ram Rider once again here from SB, but
we'll have snares onto that Mega Minion. We'll start charging and pushing the P.E.K.K.A. into that tower and Prince.
Yeah, now you've got an Ewiz here to slow all this up. A Snowball will allow the Ram Rider to get through and start doing some hits, but a Dark Prince as well on top of that Ram Rider, so not a ton of damage being done.
Yeah, 3 hits into the tower, and Baby Dragon does get some more. Comes the Ewiz to save the day, but is it going to RG? Still connecting few shots. P.E.K.K.A. comes down to chop onto it. Even the Dark Prince connecting onto the tower.
Yeah, because the Princess Tower was locked onto the RG, the Dark Prince was able to get through there with a sliver of health, start doing some damage.
And that's more charge coming in, but less body in front to actually take the shots away for that Ram Rider to connect to the tower. No damage done.
Oh no, this is just about game over here. SB has got to find something, but no, it is a Royal Giant in the pocket. The predicted P.E.K.K.A. was not in the right spot.
See you later, P.E.K.K.A.
Oh no.
And Ewiz having some zaps, but 2 crowns, never mind, 90 left. But that's enough with that lightning. Expo Master comes back huge for the team from 2-0 situation. He's going to take 3 games for himself and bring OP.GAMING into the next round.
Incredible performance here from Expo Master, showing us today why he is one of the best. The regular season was not great. Even in the 1v1 set here, he did not perform the best. But he comes through for his team, sweeps Talon, and brings a victory to OP.GAMING, and they will be moving on to face Bren Esports in the next match.
What a moment for OP.GAMING. He had so many tough games, and especially for Expo Master, who we were saying he was good in the past. We were always saying how good he was in the past tense form and how well he did last year, but he comes back really strong. It is a playoff, only 1 game, only 1 set needed, 3-0. He takes it, and Dabong TV does survive at the end.
He's still with us.
Yes.
He's the old man. He's one of the oldest players. I think he's the oldest, right?
No, Master Hong is the oldest.
Oh, Master Hong is the oldest, that's right.
But still, Talon showing some great sportsmanship. They're always having thumbs up, even if they win or lose against any team. It was great seeing for them the entire season, wish to have them back with the same roster or even better improved roster next season.
Yeah, I would love to see them again. I love the creativity they bring to Clash Royale League Asia. They're a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, this is already a big improvement for them to making it into the playoff. Of course, they're going to be dropped out in the first match, but teams are waiting, and Bren Esports is going to face OP.GAMING right away. Stay tuned for match number 2. It's coming up very soon.
when I beat him at King of the Hill, I proved to myself that I am a really good player too.
Oh yes, because he's been doing that for almost like 4 or 5 matches in the season for us, so it's not really something trivial.
I'm just preparing many decks and practicing with my teammates. I just dropped my tombstone. So he will drop.
Yeah, probably he will drop it on the opposite lane. So
When he dropped it, I knew that maybe he's playing
RG deck,
Yeah.
Royal Giant deck.
Royal Giant deck.
Nice.
And when he plays the Mega Minion,
Yeah.
I know, maybe I can play the Lava because he can. It's not easy to play the RG without Mega Minion.
Yeah.
But luckily, I don't have any cards to defend this RG.
Yeah.
So he got a lot of damage. When he played the Fireball,
He
maybe
missed.
no, that the first Fireball.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna lose this match.
Yeah.
The Electro Drug.
Yeah.
And it's really good for me because
He doesn't have any spell to counter it.
it could already Royal Giant and
And Royal Giant plus Lumberjack is a great counter against RG. So yeah.
I played the Lava.
Yeah, it doesn't have his winning condition right now.
He knew that I don't have Tombstone, so he played the Minitega. But I didn't expect the Minitega.
Yeah.
I thought that it's just a Lumberjack.
But good thing is it didn't destroy your tower.
Yeah.
It could have been a game. This one. I think this is his mistake.
Yeah, that's a mistake for him.
Yeah, because he only hit the flying machine and he has so many tubes around the map. And
The Mega Minion.
Mega Minion 2 was useless.
So that time, I knew that I can win this.
Yeah, me too. I was really happy that when that happened because that Mega Minion was really did nothing. Really did nothing.
Then that time,
Oh, yeah.
I knew that I can defend it.
It's very aggressive because that's his last push.
Yes.
Yeah. We all knew that it won't bring his tower down. So we were really happy.
Good game.
Yeah, good game.
I think he's gonna trying to play same deck with me, and he just put the mini P.E.K.K.A instead of Lumberjack. I was really happy because a lot of my cards are air decks. Hey TNT, thank you for bringing the mini P.E.K.K.A. It was really good for me. For me, 10-10 because he is really good player and I beat him.
We're facing against Siri on our next match, so we will make sure to come back strong.
It's because they are really good team with Benzer.
And welcome back to Clash Royale League Asia. All of those videos are available on our YouTube. But it's time for our match number 2, OP.GAMING. They take down Talon. Now they're up against Bren Esports, second place from Group A.
Yeah, Bren is so solid across the board. They're very, very good at 2v2. They're very, very good at 1v1. And when these two teams met up earlier this season, Bren Esports 2-0'd them. Jai defeating Expo Master 1-2. And then the 2v2 as well.
Yep.
Bren Esports taking it.
Yeah, Bren Esports since last year starting to show some promise. promises, but they exploded with power in Season 2 regular season. Actually, one of the 2 finalists in the Season 2 playoff finals. Finishes second after Kings on Dragon X. Now it's time for their chance to prove themselves once again in 2019 playoffs. 4 Philippine members and a powerful addition of Toby Spirithawk. I think that's the key here from Germany.
Yeah, Toby Spirithawk has played well for them for sure. Jai has definitely been their star player overall, especially in the 1v1s and the King of the Hills. He has been extremely consistent, very strong player. He can play many different kinds of decks again. We find that with all of our top players here in Clash Royale League Asia. They can't be really pigeonholed into one thing they like. They like to do a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, Jai personally playing a lot more Royal Hog compared to any other players in Clash Royale League Asia. So that's also one of the things that he does love to run. Not just the Royal Hogs, with the Flying Machine not always paired up with the motors, so that's something else, something unique that Jai does bring into game a lot of the time.
We've seen him use the Mega Knight quite effectively. He hasn't lost a game in 1v1s with the Mega Knight, so he's pretty strong with that.
Yeah, Mega Knight 3 out of 3.
Yeah, and Miner as well, he's quite good with. But yeah, he does like to use the Royal Hogs more than anyone else here in Clash Royale League Asia. So we'll see if he is the 1v1. I expect him to be the 1v1 player. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, because they just got their rosters and banned during that commercial break. We also don't know what's happening with the roster. Not yet, until the moment we see it on screen.
Yeah, we're just going to have to wait and find out here. Will it be the same lineup for OP.GAMING? Will it be Wechan and Asher in the 2v2 and then Expo Master in the 1v1? I suspect that's the case.
I think Damong's lying to them. He's like, no, I'm not playing. No, I'm not playing in 2v2. I'm not going to be in King of the Hill. Well, we'll see. I think it's roster time. Here we go.
All right, it will be Trainer Ken and Manong GP.
Of course.
Against Wechan and Asher, so nothing changing there for OP.GAMING. And Jai versus Expo Master. And then at the end, No Aim Sai and Dabang TV are available. So this is pretty much about what you would have expected.
Yes, exactly. Trainer came out on GP, the strongest pair from BAN Esports, having 55% win rate. One of the strongest 2v2 in the entire region, I would say. Banning the Giant Skeleton, Wechan Asher. Going once again, banning the Lava. So Tornado is available this time. I think we can expect a lot of RGs coming down in that 2v2. Jai coming out from BAN Esports, banning Baby Dragon, Expo staying with that Poison ban. So I think OP is just staying with that same one.
Yeah, exactly. It just seems like that's kind of what Expo Master has prepared for today. Is he's not interested in playing against decks that utilize Poison. So we will find out more about that when we get to the 1v1s. Coming up first in the 2v2s, they've been solid, 5 and 4.
Yeah, heavily relying on Golem 2v2 compared to any other teams, having 6 to 8 for Trainer Ken, 6 to 9 for Manong GP. Pretty good win rate. Also, Lava Hound is one of their key cards, which is banned out gladly, but Tornado is also available, having a 5 out of 8 game win rates for BAN Esports. So their strong 2v2 deck still stays.
Right, so last time we did see the Golem Double Prince deck from Wechan and Asher win them 2 games. Will they go back to that? They did play the Graveyard Freeze as well, but didn't have success with it. So what are they going to want to do? Will we just see Golem versus Golem here? Now, Tornado is available, so it definitely makes it feel like a little more possible that Golem will come out, because a lot of times you're not going to see as much Miner and Balloon and other things because you can drag those around a bit easier.
Yeah, even the riders that's going to just charge onto the building, it's going to be a lot harder. Just because of that Tornado, do you really go for that spell damage? I think that's one of the safer choices. And all the spells available here. And there can be even rockets coming down from either side. Here we go, 2v2 between OP.GAMING, BAN Esports.
And no Lava Hound available either, so we're used to seeing a lot of Lava Hound in 2v2, but not today, not this time.
And not today, and good snipe, I would say, against BAN Esports. We have been making a lot work, and even with that clone sometimes coming down in 2v2.
Yep, of course, the Miner placement, when you know Tornado is available, you have to put it on that corner. There is no other choice. It has to be on the outermost corner of the Princess Tower, otherwise it can be Tornadoed into the King Tower to activate it.
Good guard, going against it. Here comes the Graveyard already. That log getting the charge away from the Prince, but few skeletons doing the damage.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage going to be coming in here because a lot of skeletons were able to group up in there as the attention of that Ice Wizard was on the Prince, and the Prince actually got a hit onto the Ice Wizard.
Yes, and the Musketeer is strong, but in terms of the attack speed, it's not the fastest. So they take a lot of skeleton damage down to 1797. Another graveyard. And expecting a freeze to come down soon too, but with that defensive poison from OP.GAMING, no, not this time.
All right, so the one P.E.K.K.A does end up winning because he gets a little help from his friend, the Mega Minion, but the guards are there to clean this up. So there will be no extra damage coming in from that push other than what happened from the graveyard.
Graveyard did not have the best win rate until last weekend. Actually, last weekend just surpassed the over 50% win rate in Asia. So expecting a freeze to be there from Brand Esports, and OP.GAMING should have a pretty good idea. They got double poison, so which is really, really good against double graveyard.
Yeah, absolutely. They have the defense available for the graveyard. Just a matter of finding the right timings to make sure they have those available. There's a rocket here as well. Will it catch the Prince? It does, just barely.
Yeah, barely.
Catch the backside of that Prince.
I also thought it could possibly miss. It comes without that defensive poison. Because of that rocket, Skeleton's connecting so much. That's close to a tower down. Only 4 left.
For all intents and purposes, that is a tower down. And they are just going to let it go. I think that's smart for OP.GAMING there because, of course, you know, it's a dead tower.
The Baby Dragon actually going straight in line from that side. Yeah, that's pretty rare to see. But I think you want to defend your left side first and then get the things going for Brand Esports. They got a good lead. 30 seconds left.
Yep, that Ice Spirit so useful against the Princes because you can stop the charge. Now getting a little more aggressive with those Prince placements. Another rocket, very nicely used. Gets the Prince.
Yeah, but I think OP.GAMING has only 1 rocket, so even with that extra set of rocket damage, they need all the spell damage along with that poison. A few more minor will be really nice.
Yeah, knowing that the tornado is already used, they're able to place these miners in different spots. Defensive freeze being used here to prevent that last crown tower from going down. So, Brand Esports does take game number 1.
Awesome attack with that freeze, along with those graveyards. The reason why they were defending so hard instead of going for that second tower, we've told you before, similar story from match number 1 graveyard. If you're trying to go for that second trophy count, even if you have freeze, it's a lot harder when the king tower is activated. Even when you catch both of the towers in that freeze, right after it's just going to be cleaned up from those cannons.
Yep, exactly. And it's, you know, even though you have the defensive poisons available as OP.GAMING, the problem is that you have rocket in there as well. And you're using that, and that's sucking up a lot of your elixir here, and you don't have it available for defense, and you're forced to drop guards, which are not bad, but at that point it was too little too late.
That was almost too great of a read. Having, okay, 1 poison was down offensive, and then the other person just used the rocket, so they must not have enough elixirs to have their defensive poison from our graveyard. So just having that freeze down right away to make sure the skeletons connect all the damage. So Brand Esports certainly ready with that graveyard deck, making it work once again with that 2v2. You think they're going to use it once again?
Yeah, probably. That's been kind of the general tradition in Clash Royale League Asia is if it works once,
if you win,
do
you
it
stick.
again.
Yeah, until you lose, right?
Yeah, use it till you lose.
Yeah, I think freeze is actually a really big card that has not been banned at all, but it's actually worth banning, just like the tornado here. So many that can connect along with it. Here we go. All the spells available once again. Game number 2, Brand Esports. Will they get it once again? Or OP.GAMING coming in hot, just like match 1.
Yeah, freeze has become insanely popular, not just in graveyard decks, like in many different, you know, Hog Rider, Balloon. It's just, so it's a really powerful card, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it banned at some point during these playoffs.
I think it's one card that you always have really good chance. It's like banning, I think it's still banning better than banning an Earthquake. Freeze actually, just for, I'm just talking about 2v2 here.
Yep.
As you can lock up all the units and the Princess King Tower together. That's the strongest part about it.
I agree. I 100% agree with you. It is such a versatile card, actually. And even on defense, ideally you're not using it on defense, but if you have to, it can buy you quite a bit of time as well.
Dark Prince going across the bridge, so OP.GAMING's Princess Tower is going to connect into that Dark Prince, letting it survive just a little longer, but not too long.
Yeah, so these Princes, stopping the charge with that log is OP.GAMING. And And that is a very dead Prince, and that Dark Prince doesn't take much. And now a graveyard of their own. OP.GAMING looking to turn the tables here onto Brent Esports.
Brent, do they have poison? Right now with the Baby Dragon having some area damage, I don't think it's really needed at the moment, but still takes some damage and they can get their own push going.
Right, they have the Musketeer over there as well, and they're going to attempt a graveyard of their own. Now the a tornado here to drag everything into the freeze.
To delete that Dark Goblin, and Skeleton's doing so much damage now, down to 600.
Oh,
that's close to a tower gone.
That's so smart by Brent Esports. That is an incredible tornado play there. One of the most heady things you will see.
Yeah, Dark Goblin, one of the best units going against that graveyard. Fast attack speed, gets skeletons every single time. Drag it into that tornado, into the range of that freeze, and then using it. Teamwork is so good from Brent Esports.
Wow, just impressive performance. Defensive poison now to help clean up the graveyard so you can focus your defense on the bridge here. Even though that Prince is getting a little turned around, that's okay. You got a P.E.K.K.A up there now as well to soak up some damage for you, and this is looking dire for OP.GAMING.
Yeah, 45 seconds left. Brent Esports, they can even have defensive freeze. So before taking that tower down to activate the King Tower, they're going for that right side to delay further attacks coming down from OP.
Yep, just forcing a lot of elixir to be used onto this right side. They have enough to finish off that tower with their spells, so they can be patient here. A freeze of their own from OP.GAMING.
Yeah, but the Dark Prince and the Baby Dragon cleaning up most of the skeletons. P.E.K.K.A is not getting close to that tower. Infernal Tower already melting that P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah, another graveyard. They're in desperation mode. They're just trying to get anything to go.
Defensive poison comes down perfectly for Brent Esports, and I think, and everyone knows, Brent Esports are taking this 2v2.
Yep, this is just a spell and a little extra damage.
Freeze poison will be GG for Brent Esports. They take the 2v2 2-0.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That was not broke for Brent Esports. They're very happy about that. These two play so well together. Monong GP and Trainer Ken playing really, really well together.
So strong on 2v2. I think still the strongest team in our entire tournament here.
It's hard to it's between them and Yakitori and Yui Hero, I think. Like for 2v2s. They're so good.
In terms of consistency and how good they are along with the spells, and seeing these kind of teamwork and the synergy between the spells, I mean, these two are just abnormal play, I would actually say, because they're so good.
That tornado was so perfect. Just dragging all those units into that freeze. I think it was like was it a miner and a Dark Goblin that they dragged, or was it a Mega Minion and a Dark Goblin?
As long as they got the Dark Goblin, I think that was the key.
Yeah, exactly.
Just being all the way. That's actually hard to drag all the way out there because you don't want to get you don't want to just waste your spell. This was the moment. Yeah, I think that was a Mega Minion instead. But still, doesn't really do anything against all those skeletons.
I mean, OP.GAMING made a good adjustment by bringing that Dark Goblin, but it ended up being all for naught because of the tornado.
Yeah, when tornado's available, you just... That's one of the cards, because once you put down anything, you cannot control it after that moment, but tornado lets you control it. Lets you control the opponent's unit. So that's why that spell is so powerful.
Yep. That's why it's usually banned.
Yep. Well, most of the times in 2v2, of course, Jai is up here. He's going to be up against Expo Master, banning that Baby Dragon here.
Yeah, that's a little interesting. The Baby Dragon. That one's got me scratching my head a little bit. Again, I don't think anything you ban against Expo Master is a targeted ban against him. I think it's more of a, this is something I'm thinking about running.
It's one of the most common ones. For 1v1 from the regular season, Miner 21 bans, Tornado 18 bans, and Baby Dragon follows right after with 13 bans. So one of the most common, just making it replaced with like a Dark Goblin or a Musketeer. We've seen that happen, but the Baby Dragon is one of the key cards in a lot of the decks.
Yeah, it's just so versatile. I mean, splash damage, a lot of hit points, so it survives things like lightning, and it's just a really useful card to have. And then you're forcing your opponent to use something like Musketeer or a Flying Machine in replacement for it, and then that opens up the door. Okay, well maybe I can use Fireball or something like that.
Yeah. Brent Esports on the lead from the first set. Let's go into 1v1, set number 2. So Expo Master certainly getting some momentum from that King of the Hill last match.
What an incredible performance from him. His It almost felt like we were not going to see it, something like that from him again.
Yeah,
And
until next season or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
And it was a real treat to see him win that King of the Hill.
Having some archers. Is it going to be the cycle once again? Skill Army. It's one of the cards that Expo Master personally likes to use.
Yeah, he is somebody who will bring out that Skell Army from time to time. Exactly what he will follow up
Did
with.
have Skill Army with that Royal Hog last time when Expo Master used it?
I think he used it with Mega Knight one time way at the beginning of the season. Was that him who did that? I believe it was him. Somebody used it with Mega Knight one time way at the beginning of the season. But with a princess, we will see.
Let's try to have some second thoughts in here.
I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm not convinced with any of them.
Yeah, it could still just be the Goblin bait here.
Yeah.
With that Skeleton Army with that Princess.
Exactly. That's what I'm leaning towards.
Uh-huh.
Because it is so cheap.
Yeah, but it actually, most of the time, it does actually have along with that Princess. But could be just spell changes coming down from Expo Master.
There's that fireball. Kind of makes sense with the bans. It kind of forces you into using fireball here because poison is banned. Well, this is pretty intriguing stuff here from both players. Dark Princes will meet in the center again. And I don't know if either Princess Tower... Okay, the bottom, Jai's Princess Tower is in range this time. But it's not really going to matter.
Jai's also waiting because he's got 2 key cards. And those cards are not coming down until Expo Master uses it. Let's see who's going to be the first one.
Nope.
Feel that power play.
Okay, the Inferno Tower here from Expo Master. Still not revealing exactly what his key cards are. It's a graveyard here from Expo Master. All right, the Dark Prince is already down here, though, with an Ewiz. The freeze comes down. There's a couple skeletons down here. The Barbarian Barrel does clean them up, so that wasn't the biggest of graveyard freeze pushes.
Yeah, with that much elixirs committed to it, but still, in terms of the cycle, Jai's having some trouble defending. Of course, he did a lot more damage, but the Princess onto the left is going to give him some trouble coming from time to time.
That stun didn't pick up there. That's weird. All right. There's a snowball there to slow that down. This archer is going to get one shot in. Now we've got the snowball coming in here with the miner. Gets an extra hit thanks to that nice snowball from Jai.
Yeah, Princess 140 every single time. Off to the left side this time.
Okay, is the freeze going to come down? I think there it is. And immediately the Barbarian Barrel is right behind it. Jai very ready for that.
Ooh, that's some excellent defense with the E-Wizard, and the barrel timing is just perfect.
Yep. Great placement there on that Skell Army by Expo Master, preventing that snowball from taking most of them out, forcing the guards out here to prevent a little extra damage. One or two of those skeletons might have got a hit there, depending on how that went.
Yeah, even spending a fireball, you want to chip the damage as the time's ticking.
There you go. Once again, the snowball, this time a very good snowball of his own from Jai. That miner gets one extra hit this time. Decent push. He had to use the Barbarian Barrel early. The guards are in here, though, to help clean up this graveyard.
Yeah, it's too late for a freeze already, and then there's that big push with the miner, so Expo Master does not have room to use extra elixirs now.
Yep.
So from that chip damage from the miner, basically down to 701, and actually Snowball's also chipping a lot of damage, 56 every time.
Yeah, it's just slowly adding up here for Jai. Of course, he has Fireball available as well for the overall spell damage higher in Jai's favor, unless one of these graveyard pushes can work.
And this has to be the perfect freeze that he wants. Jai's ready with that bar barrel very soon, leading lots of skeletons, even the guards soaking some damage.
Yeah, exactly. Those guards are a great defensive unit there. You can just place them. You can save your Dark Prince for something else. And then you start pushing up here on the top right. You have to use the Skell Army. Okay, now this one could get interesting. You had to use the guards out front this time.
And the giant skeleton coming in later. That bar barrel skeleton's connecting some more damage this time, but down to 308 on top right.
Yeah, Prince on the top left getting quite a bit of damage in. That is 107 left here. That's not quite one snowball. Well, it's like two snowballs.
Yeah, two snowballs, exactly. There's that graveyard. Expo Master has no further chance. One more shovel on top. And that's game for Jai.
Jai. He is playing very, very well recently. This whole season, he has been a clutch player for Bren. Bren just has a lot of 2-0s. They just are so strong. When they're like on, they're just on.
Yep, and Expo Master this entire season, whenever he brought some funky deck like this, which is not the most common, even having the archers along with this, sometimes you would have Rascals instead of the Dark Prince, and there are some replacements of the others. But it doesn't work as well when you're going against this many spells, and also the Miner, the Giant Snowball is going to delete so many. Barbaro, you know those two are the most common spells for every single deck. So you're really looking to draw out the Barbaro with the skeleton and army all the time, but it doesn't really connect.
And what's even more crazy is Jai has the Dark Prince and the guards who have those shields available to soak up so much damage from those skeletons, because the skeletons don't hit hard, but they hit a lot is the goal there. And of course the Miner does clean it up on that top right. So we'll see exactly what Jai wants to do at the end. And we take a timeout. As Expo Master is going to talk this over. This is pretty much what we expect out of OP.GAMING. Expo Master loses the first game, and then we take a timeout.
And then we go to King of the Hill, possibly. But if Jai wins one more, it's going to be 4-0 on perfect shutout. So that's also possible with just game number 2 of set 2. So with Baby Dragon Poison Ban, I think with that Poison Ban, Graveyard is a smart one to bring out, of course. But when you are against that many units that has splash all the area damage, what can you do?
Yeah, it's so hard to get through all that. I agree with you. I like the idea because poison is banned. Graveyard Freeze is a good thought. Jai was very ready for it. He was very prepared. We never even got to see his last card.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't even need to use it.
No, didn't need it.
If it was something super heavy along with that Miner, maybe like a Mega Knight.
Yeah.
Even like you want to have that. But if you drop that big elixir, it screws your cycle over because your opponent Expo Master has a really cheap cycle. So you want to match it. I think Jai was having a great idea, having read of a cycle. So let's see what they have in store for us. Some changes into game 2. Another graveyard deck. We'll see what happens in game 2. Rennie Sports on a match score though. With one more game, they go off to face game win.
Yeah, I mean, they could just blank OP.GAMING here, who fought so hard to get here.
Is this a deja vu?
Oh boy.
Barbaro does that?
Yeah, that looks pretty familiar, doesn't it?
Night Witch. I've seen some giant Night Witch.
Okay. All right. E-Dragon a lot of times with Golem, but recently we've seen we've seen it with some other stuff. And what in the world, a giant? All right, Tombstone available here to distract this giant for a little bit.
Mega Minion is on Miner duty. So gets that cleaned up, just a few hundred damage connected.
Yep, this will be a cleaned up push here and a Royal Giant for Jai. We've been seeing this E-Dragon with the Royal Giant from time to time here. Fireball.
Yeah, good Fireball, but Expo Master is low on elixirs.
There's a Fireball of his own from Jai.
One more. And with that great timing of that Fireball, Jai certainly smiling after that one push.
Yep, this is looking pretty good here so far for Jai. That E-Dragon is great against the Night Witch. And you can get the 2 bats and the Night Witch.
Yeah, Jai still has a Tornado here, so even if the Giant goes close to that tower, last time it didn't even get close to it because of that Tombstone and the E-Dragon all the time.
And it also forces the Miner placement to be in that top left corner.
So tough situation for Expo Master, but it is not impossible. He's got Miner all the time. Some quick cycle with that Giant.
Ooh, Minion Horde here. So the Fireball is going to have to be used to take down the Minion Horde, and the Tombstone will buy quite a bit of time on this Giant. Tombstone is an excellent counter to Giant. It just, the skeletons just hit so hard when they pop out of there.
Yeah, this is the Giant Miner I mentioned before, but without the Hunter Musketeer as a replacement here. Really great deck in Grand Challenge right now.
All right, trying to get the Miner minions pushing, working. Now this one minion does connect there. The Ice Wizard will help clean it up. A few more shots from the RG, but this time it was better handled up on the top left.
And going to continue that push, but E-Dragon already on it and going to get some nice lightnings here.
Yeah, there are some skeletons. The zap does clean them up, so a little bit of extra damage going to be taken here by Jai. Expo Master looking to change up his rotations, and so far it's looking a lot better for him. The E-Dragon is out front to deal with the Night Witch, and that allows the Miner to get in the back and start wailing away, but the Tornado is used to activate the King Tower.
Yeah, Expo Master had that down to not take the Chain Lightning from the E-Drag, but wasn't really sure about that Tornado. Now going to activate the King Tower. I don't think it matters too much. But that Fireball missed big on that bridge.
Oh no, what happened there? Another mistake from Expo Master.
Master looks pretty frustrated with that 4 elixir just gone down on the ground.
Yikes. Okay, well, he's still in control of this game, though. He's not really that far behind in elixir at all anymore, so he's really catching up. That Fireball's going to clean up a lot.
But the RG still pretty healthy and gets that Fireball. What's after?
Ooh, okay, he's got the Night Witch. Will that be enough to finish it in time? Yes, but the Fireball is available here.
It's within that next Fireball range from Jai. With that Tornado, I think he secures it. It's overtime. All you need is some more damage onto the tower. That will win you the game. That's straight 4 games for Brand Esports. Great run for OP.GAMING, but their story ends here.
Yeah, well done by Jai overall. Another, what I want to call micro mistake from Expo Master where he misplayed a spell. We've seen that from him twice today. And again, and this time it's even worse. Last time it was a snowball, so it's like, okay, that's not 2. So bad. Yeah. But this is a Fireball, and that's 4, and that's a lot.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, when you are up on the big stage, when you're just feeling everything at the moment, there can be mistakes. Brand Esports, they're going up. And second place versus first place of Group A here. Group Game Win is going to be coming up very soon. This is what we have. Second place, Brand Esports. They're this much stronger than OP.GAMING.
This is going to be one heck of a match coming up here. Both really strong teams across the board. Both excellent at 2v2. Both excellent at 1v1. Game Width has a lot of depth. We've seen Rotoporan play very well. KK has been playing very well when he's been around. And now they face each other for our final match of the day. I am so excited for this.
Oh, Brand Esports certainly looking really strong, having a 4-0 shutout on match number 2. Let's chill down, go brush your teeth, grab some snacks, popcorns, because a movie is coming right at you. Match 3 coming up, Game Win versus Brand Esports.
対1個人対戦では負けてしまったんですけど、その後負けを取り返せてチームに勝利をもたらすことができてよかったです。特にハネハネ選手は使うデッキが特殊で、それに対策した模擬プレイを何回か取りました。
そうですね、予想できないことはないぐらいの実力があるので、取ってくれて本当に良かったです。これ今戦ってるけど、これ相手のハネハネ選手のデッキ、このデッキが来ると予想してましたか？
予想してましたね。練習通りって感じです。このゴボギャン出てきた瞬間に、勝利は、勝てるデッキでいったんで、あのデッキには、勝利を思いました。
もうこの時点で
よしって。このデッキのやっぱ本当に世界で一番このデッキが上手い選手なんで。
それは間違いない。
一応、
ここプリンス切ったの割となんか怖かったんで、こっちとしては。これは別に問題なしと。
そうですね。アウトローとプリンスを同時に切らないことを意識して、どっちかがいれば守れるんで。この吹き矢は KO ですね。ちょっと怖かった。
ここがちょっと怖い。見てる側も怖かった。
後ろの吹き矢がやらしいですね。
確かに。ここがちょっと怖かったけど、ここでウッドを使わなかったのは、
バレルを持ってるのは分かってたんで、それの一応温存って感じですね。
できる限り残したい。
プリンセスがいるときにバレルを投げると、相手が小物を出してもすぐに処理できるんで、
なるほど。
意識することは、プリンセスが攻めで残ってるときにバレルを飛ばすことを意識してます。
なるほど。ここも結構怖いけど、
止めづらいんですよね。
ソスケの爆破を避けながら、ここもウッドを温存していくと。
ここみたいにプリンセスが攻めの時にバレルを投げると、プリンセス止めづらいんで。
確かに。結構刺さってる。
なんなら巨大スケルトンも。ここはプリンセスにやられちゃうんで、タゲをプリンスだけで取ってる。打ったんですけど、
ここちょっと怖かった。
かわしましたね、何かが。
でもここプリンセスが優秀です。いや、ここ早いね。
で、このまたプリンセスがの時にバレルを投げて、ここもっとウッド打ってよかったですね、もっと早めに。
確かに。
ローリングウッドを転がす。
結構ウッドオンとして、
このゴブリンが
ここがめちゃくちゃ刺さって勝利と。
相手の攻めに対しての、カウンターとしてユニットも溜まっていて、エリクサーアドバンテージも取れていて、それは相手が止めづらい状況での時にゴブリンが2体刺さっていって、あの時勝利を確信しました。7点。キングオブザヒルは勝てたんですけども、やっぱり1対1、2回負けてしまって、そこのいろいろミスも多かったので、そこを引いて7点です。次の試合は 2-0 で勝ちます。お疲れ。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and it is going to be hell of a match here between GameWith and Granny Sports. We want to decide who's going to be going to that grand finals from Group A.
It's going to be Japan versus SEA here in our finals. Our two best teams from Group A squaring off for this final spot. You could take a real quick look at how they fared so far this season. They played very, very well overall.
How good they were. I mean, back from regular season 2008 Season 1, they were also the best finished runner-up against Ponos. It was Japan versus Japan Grand Finals. But Season 2, they had some poor result, had some bittersweet result in Season 2, not making it to the playoff. Now they're back as the first place of Group A. How happy they should be. But of course, they want to finish in third place placement. They want to go for that first place.
Yeah, just 2-0ing a lot of people. They barely ever had to go to King of the Hill. They didn't do great when they went there, but they did well enough in 2v2 and 1v1 that it often didn't matter. Of course, this guy is a monster. 4-1 in his sets, 6-2 in his King of the Hill games.
Yeah, for the first, I would say first half of the season, and then it was actually Royale who kicked in, who's also really strong. And still, I really do not know who's going to be coming out for that 1v1. Even if you go to that King of the Hill, this roster is actually really, really strong from game win.
It just depends on who you feel like has a better read on Jai. Whoever you think can beat him, because both of these players, it might not be, might be Toby Spirithawk. But he did defeat Toby Spirithawk 2-0, so I would have a hard time imagining Brad not putting Jai out there again.
Okay.
Toby's not out there, so.
Yeah, Toby's in the building. So you saw him earlier today, but seems like he's not in the final roster here. Let's see, game they continued their action. Their 1v1 has been crazy, and their problem was 2v2 at the beginning of the season, but that has been picked up by the standard 2v2 teammates here, Yakitori and Yuihiro.
Yeah, I expect Yakitori and Yuihiro to be the players there for sure. And then Rotoporan and KK most likely in some fashion there. We'll see exactly how they want to do it. Rotoporan started to struggle there a little bit at the end of the season. Started to run into some tougher opponents and kind of faltered just a little bit, but he started out so strong.
Yep. We have that manner handshake before we get into that 2v2. That's it. Should be the same. The pair of Trainer Ken, Manong GP, and Yakitori Yuihiro. Yes, and KK is back for game win.
All right, we haven't seen much from KK recently because of Rotoporan's success, so let's see what he's got here. Nothing changing, and we're getting a Royal Giant ban against Jai here, and a P.E.K.K.A ban against KK, and then all right, we're gonna have the Tornado available again in 2v2 because it's Lightning being banned, of course, Lightning being such a versatile, powerful spell, especially against those Inferno Towers.
Oh yes, and still a lot are remained. Even Freeze is still really good. You can have the Zap, but Freeze is also that one that cuts that Inferno Tower, does less damage, but still just cutting that down, putting that maximum damage laser down. I think that's the key. We did see Graveyard with that Freeze game. We certainly watched that game behind the lobby today.
Yeah, I definitely with the Lightning ban here, we could see a lot more Infernos, maybe.
Yeah, most played cards, they're just out there. Mega Minion, like Guards, Baby Dragon, who's not going to play those?
Right.
But the thing is, they have been playing a lot of RG, just 4 out of 4, but something unique is that they're the team that used the most amount of Bomb Tower and has a pretty good win rate of 8 out of 14. They played 14 games of Bomb Tower on 2v2.
Yeah, they like to play a lot of Giant as well with the Princes. So they're very capable of running a couple different decks. They tend to be on the ground. They've only played Lava Hound twice. So I mean, they did well with it, but they don't typically want to play Lava Hound. So maybe they might throw us a curveball here and try some Lava.
Yeah, a little more. Not the best result, 50% on the Lava. Lightning actually is one of their key cards. 10 out of 14. Lots of wins, but they're the one banning it, so they gotta have some preparations done against a specific Lightning ban. I'm excited to find out what the 2v2 deck is going to be, especially from Game Win.
Yeah, I mean, the advantage that Game Win has here from being the first place team is they can prepare a lot more. They can figure out these bans that they want to do against each team and kind of really think about it and have it ready to go.
We're ready to go. 2v2 starts now.
Trainer Ken, he looks really ready, man. He's got a big smile on his face. He's rubbing his hands together.
What if there's like two Hog with that Rage dropping on top instantly?
Do it. I'm down. I love it. Give me that. I'm fine. This is going to be really fascinating. Really today we're seeing a lot of teams be perfectly happy to leak Elixir early on, wait out their opponents. We haven't seen that as much this season, and All right, that Dark Prince does end up getting around the Musketeer there
Both
because
teams,
he pushes him.
Yeah, they want to get as maximum elixir advantage that they can by starting a little late.
So definitely the P.E.K.K.A coming down here from Bren because they thought that maybe we might see the RG or the Giants because that's a lot of what GameWith likes to do, but no, it is the Graveyard from them.
Yeah, it was but a great defense. It was basically log and poison damage onto the tower. Yeah, guards away from the Graveyard just in case of a freeze.
Ooh, they do get those skeletons in there to get the King Tower.
That's huge.
Yeah,
I thought the baby dragon was going to connect to one of those skeletons, making that tornado being useless, but they get it activated.
and the timing was perfect there. That is a huge moment that makes that Graveyard so much more difficult to utilize.
Yes. So Bren Esports, if they want to have the tower down, they have to chip a lot of poison damage or having some really incredible, perfect freeze.
Yeah, let's see if they can maybe find a way to activate a King Tower of their own. The freeze does come down, so there's a lot of skeletons that get some hits in there. Eventually, the baby dragon is unfrozen.
Yeah, not bad of a log there. Good timing, getting maybe 2-3 scratches from the skeletons. Not the most threatening attack from GameWith there.
Yeah, but this is a huge problem here for Bren relatively quickly with that King Tower activated and their win condition being the Graveyard. They're going to try it again, and the guards do come down this time to defend it. And there is the Tornado once again to bring everything in.
Tornado freeze, but a lot of units blocking those skeleton damage from going into the Princess Tower because there were so many units, P.E.K.K.A, Dark Prince, and all the small ones out there.
Yeah, this is starting to look pretty troublesome here for Bren Esports. The poison is down. It will catch the Electro Wizard as well.
Okay, GameWith, they have some space. They have some extra elixirs to have the maximum value of poison. It seemed really easy for them to control there.
Yeah, another push. All right, they're trying to drag everything in so it gets hit by those. I don't know exactly what they're doing, actually. I thought they were going to spell or something.
No, they're trying to bring all the ground units so the Dark Prince gets a charge with the area damage into the tower too. So that's some extra damage there Bren Esports is looking for. But without that freeze, it's going to be really hard.
Not to mention it's guards and a Dark Prince as well, so it's just doing damage to the shields, really. It's just not that effective here for them.
Yeah, you want to bring it as close to the tower, so you get that area damage with the Dark Prince. That's some extra damage that Bren is looking for, but it's not really connecting. There's that extra freeze again.
And those units are piling up in the back.
Woo! And that's it, then. I think Bren Esports, they realized their destiny as soon as the King Tower was activated. A great pull with that tornado, changing everything up. I think without that, a lot more was possible, and Bren Esports, they were just having all-in tornadoes because of that King Tower activation.
Right, absolutely. They're just trying anything they can at that point to try to turn it around. Everything in the kitchen sink, because again, once that King Tower is activated, Graveyard becomes exponentially worse.
Yeah, but if you put everything in the kitchen sink to cook your own food, you know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. It's not going to be edible at all. Yeah, this was a great freeze, but the one coming down was the Prince. Some skeletons connecting into it, but not really the biggest use of those spells.
I get the idea. It's just there's like with the P.E.K.K.A there, with the Dark Prince, with the guards. There's so much tank. It's like they could survive the freeze. It's just I like the idea. Just wasn't able to execute as well as GameWith was.
Yeah, that's why Graveyard 2v2 deck actually does not have the best win rate in from the West or even China, because that is basically your only winning condition. And if that's sealed with the defensive freeze, defensive poison, if they have double poison, then you are in trouble if you have freeze. So along with that, you're going to have likely Bar Barrel or even a log against the skeletons. When that's locked out, you can't really do anything. So you got to just try to make something work along with that tornado.
All right, you're exactly right. Let's see what Bren Esports will do here, or if GameWith can just take it. What decks will they use? Let's find out.
Certainly both teams having the teamwork together. We've seen some really amazing spells coming down at the perfect timing. This comes down to the practice and how much you know about your teammates.
Yeah, exactly. You practice a lot of these ideas.
You gotta know all the colors of your teammates' underwears too. You gotta know everything about your teammates.
You know what they ate for breakfast. Need to know what their favorite food is.
Yeah, what kind of dreams they had.
Yeah. What do they like to do in their free time? Just like basically like Tinder each other.
You gotta be the best friends. Forever.
All right, here's the Lava Hound this time from Brent Esports. Definitely a big difference to start out with. That's a great poison.
Yeah, Inferno Tower is not banned, but still not seeing it in any of their hands right now.
Not yet. There was a defensive poison used here to help clean up the pups to minimize the damage.
And with that offensive poison from Brent, so it did get a lot of value. So with that second lava, it does connect and a great zap to stop it.
Resets the beam onto the Lava Hound, who is still a little bit healthy. The baby dragon belches are getting onto it. The pups will be tornadoed away. And that is a nice use of tornado there.
Perfect spell against all the pups. That's why we see a lot of lava when tornado is banned. With this, Grand can have a tough time. Of course, they did a lot more damage. But Game With, they're hiding a few more things.
Yep, looks like Game With is content to kind of roll the same thing here. Graveyard, will we see the freeze here as well? It doesn't look like this time they really feel like they need to use it. They got just a couple hits there, not much.
Also, Game With, Yakitori was really low on Elixir. I imagine he's the one putting down the freeze.
Yeah, it looks like I think you're right. They just didn't have the opportunity to utilize it there.
There's that second graveyard from Game With this time again. Mega Minion on top, even on Tesla.
Whoa! Don't see that much in 2v2.
Great defensive building, of course. Musketeer connecting directly into the building.
That's huge. That Musketeer does so much damage. A big push coming. Inferno Tower is down. Dark Prince is going to distract all these units in the back, but not for very long.
Their shield soaks up some damage. Defensive freeze, but the Lumberjack not in that freeze, so the guards come just in time.
Woo. All right, we're going to get a tornado here. Yes, indeed, we get the tornado to bring everything into that Baby Dragon's Fire Breath. And excellent defense from Game With.
That was a beautiful defense, I gotta say, from Game With. They had all the spells and the units ready against the Lumberjack, against all the pups. So without that Inferno Tower this time against the lava, how do you bring that down?
Yeah, it gets a little more challenging now. There is a poison here from Brent Esports as well to chip in a little extra damage.
And a defensive poison from Game With, a little bit off onto the bridge.
Yeah, that was a little off on the timing, I feel like, there. I think they wanted to catch the pups, but I think they overestimated how fast.
Yeah, Tesla, great defensive building, especially if you have the zap. Baby Dragon actually getting that area damage into the E-Wizard too. Actually, not enough to get that tower damage.
Two decent pushes here from Brent Esports, but they're still behind just ever so slightly in Princess Tower damage. And now, this time, they do have the Inferno Tower available, makes their defense a lot easier for them.
Yep, Princess Tower does lock into the P.E.K.K.A, so the graveyard, but against the Mega Minion and the Baby Dragon on top, it'll be okay.
Most of that damage being done by the poison there. I think one or two skeletons might have got a swipe in. And this Inferno Tower is still relatively healthy here, so it's going to add a little bit to the defense for Game With and allow them to build up a little extra elixir.
Yeah, Game With actually saving a lot of elixirs in that defense. Tornado making sure all of them connect together, but only the lava, so this one's not going to be really powerful. Game With, they do have their secondary options for that graveyard.
Fireball comes in, finishes off that Musketeer and does a little bit extra damage.
So close. Every push does like about 200, 300 damage.
If they could get just one of the freezes to be effective here. Oh.
Yeah, that Kick Tower was already activated last time, so it's actually okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, against the graveyard, it can be a little bit painful though. They gotta be, Game With gotta be waiting for that freeze to come.
All right, we've got a very raged up Lava Hound, but a very healthy.
Good zap.
Good zap. All right. What will be the answer for the pups? Looks like the pups will not lock onto the Princess Tower at all.
Yeah, they only do 45 damage each, so low damage. Even the Baby Dragon can take them out easily. There's that defensive freeze. Not catching the Baby Dragon, though. It's away from that circle.
Ooh, so that Lumberjack as well, able to continue to just swing away. So the poison, not bad. So now you can use another poison.
Yeah, one more poison to finish the game, or even some freeze with that log, with that graveyard. Not lots of options to finish the game. The lava push is happening. There's a defensive tower and the Tesla even to go against the skeletons.
I think the tower should buy them just enough time to get this down. None of the skeletons were able to get a hit in here. They do have the tornado available to play defense, but it is just a Musketeer left. Okay. Oh, that's getting pushed back.
And then with that area damage, and the Dark Prince goes straight into just before that guard to come in time, but still connecting the damage with the fireball. Is that going to be enough? Brand Esports team have done it once again. What a great comeback.
Wow.
And in the middle of that, like 5 seconds before it finished, Gamewood had a weird log that didn't even hit the tower. And it was only air units. So that was one weird spell that went down in the middle of all that.
Might have been a misclick on the unit.
Maybe. Misclick on the card.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to have another card. Sometimes you just want to double tap just to make sure. But
Jeez.
let's see that again.
That was so close.
The top had like 208, I believe.
Yeah, 208. Yeah, it was
just enough for a single poison.
Yeah, it was in poison range, and I thought they were going to have enough time when they had the Inferno Tower down, but it just didn't look like they were able to cycle to it. They opted to play a lot of defense there at the end.
Yeah, this tornado, even dropping the guards right in between, so Lumberjack was crazy. I think it's after this one. Yeah, King Tower gets activated right here.
Okay, so that is really actually...
Yeah, that log here.
That log is weird. That was actually really unfortunate for Gamewith because the skeleton got blocked into it. It didn't get tornadoed into it. Nothing else happened. It's its own unit blocked it into it. It was a really weird RNG spawn.
This happened from time to time, but having that King Tower, of course, without that King Tower, I don't think Tesla was going to be enough because he had the Princess and the King Tower locked onto the graveyard, and that was a perfect defense on top with just the Tesla. So that was another close game. We are tied up here. Let's see who takes that 2v2. This is some high-level 2v2 we have here between the two teams.
Yeah, this is crazy good. Honestly, had that King Tower not gotten activated, I don't know. They would have been close regardless.
Yes, really close.
Really close.
So each skeleton does 67, so that's like 4 skeleton damage.
Yeah. It's just so hard to say. All right, we're just cycling a few cards here at the beginning. Getting a little bit more aggressive at the beginning, and it looks like Brand Esports, if it ain't broke, like we said, continue using it, and Gamewith feels confident enough to use the graveyard once more. They think they can pull this off, just turn it around this time, change up their cycle a little bit. A few skeletons get a couple hits.
Dark Prince connecting shot onto top left. That's really good for Gamewith there. And Tesla is also a really good defensive building against all the graveyard, especially if you place it in the center. It gets all the skeletons coming from the other side, which doesn't really get blocked well.
Yeah.
So just blocking all the damage possible.
The attack speed is really good on the Tesla, so it's quite strong against the graveyard. And it doesn't have the longest range, but you know, because
it's good enough to drag a lot of units towards the center, buy some time.
Right, exactly. Just in time with that defensive freeze on that Lumberjack, but now the rage is down and the tornado is used, so it'll be cleaned up all right.
Baby dragons going against each other, of course. And it's not in the Princess Tower range.
No, they're just fighting over the river. One belch will come through, but that's not too much damage.
Gamewith had that freeze off just now in the defensive use, so their next graveyard cannot connect with that freeze. Their mission is to get that off the Tesla Tower that's been bothering them a lot too.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a struggle there. This Musketeer is going to get a lot of work done.
Ooh, already a poison to getting Musketeer and few pups and the Mega Minion only.
Yeah, so that's not the end of the world. It's good defense. Let's see if the freeze is going to come down here from Yui Hero.
Yeah, Dark Prince taking a lot of shots and a good freeze. Skeletons do connect.
Good zap though on the back end to keep those back spawning skeletons at bay and kill them. So now push, but the pups are already out. There's plenty here to clean this up.
And a great offensive poison from Brand Esports. A lot of units, including some damage even to the baby dragon. So lots of great back and forth, but Gamewith has been chipping a lot more, down to 3 digits for Brand Esports.
All right, we're gonna have to use that Inferno Tower once again. The Rage spell being used here to try to get this through a Fireball as well. Into the tornado they go, so not much damage being done.
Yeah, with so much. Defensive poison just used for Gamewith. Brand Esports, they're holding a poison against the graveyard, but they're having some tough moments when they don't have elixirs against that freeze.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this time, offensive tornado.
No Inferno Tower too.
Yeah, that drags everything into that Lumberjack.
And Lumberjack in that range. Defensive freeze perfectly.
Oh boy. Okay, the log will back that Dark Prince off and just buy them a little bit of time. That Mega Minion gets one swipe in. So good change up there by Brent Esports.
And GameWith, they can't use the offensive freeze at all. They got to use it to defend all the time. So when you have some extra elixir, just throw down the Tesla. You know the attack is coming.
All right, looks like it is the Graveyard Poison this time, so a decent amount of damage being done. Not critical, but it's pretty strong.
Yeah, with that Rage dropping on top, Lava, they locked by the Inferno Tower. Is that to reset?
Yep, now the Dark Prince is on there. They have to use that defensive freeze. Once again, immediately another Lava Hound is being dropped here, but they kind of looked at each other there. I don't know if that was what they wanted.
Yeah, this Lava just gets deleted with that same Inferno Tower that was put down before.
I think that was a bit of a mistake. I don't think that's what they wanted to do.
This is a big push, trying to get the off timing to get that not connected to the Princess Tower, but let's see. Brent Esports, they have some down. Offensive poison from GameWith.
Okay, if those baby dragons lock on, one did, and that'll be it. GameWith takes it, using that Graveyard Freeze 3 times in a row, and finally pull it through in that third game after losing a very close second game.
It's having some clutch moments with that tornado. It basically came down to who can use the tornado better, who's gonna get more value of the from those poison every single time. They're trying to catch 2-3 units at a time, even away from the tower, to save some more elixir to let that push. That last lava push, I think Brent Esports, they kind of knew where this game was heading, so they were trying for this last squeeze from those elixirs to get something going, but it just ended up worse.
Yeah, it was that Inferno Tower was just too healthy still. It was able to effectively wipe out the Lava Hound, and then there was enough answers there with the baby dragons to wipe out the pups as well. So yeah, it was a bit of a desperation move by Brent Esports, and in the end, GameWith, they used this basically the exact same deck 3 times in a row, more or less. I mean, there were a few changes here and there, but they were able to pull it through.
Yeah, it's not the most common game to actually see this many tornadoes being out in Asia. We have ban cards. But we have a lot of tornado games, and this is what happens when everything you think you have the chance to actually go to the Princess Tower, they all get dragged, deleted by the upcoming spells.
Yeah, I think a big change that GameWith did make in the final game was we didn't see the P.E.K.K.A being used. I think they realized that they could outcycle their opponents and they didn't need to use that P.E.K.K.A at all. It might have been one of the, I don't remember for sure if UE Hero revealed that last card. It might have still been in there, but they never needed it, of course, because they were able to just outcycle and out-chip them down.
Don't need to use that against the Dark Prince when you have your own Dark Prince and Musketeers. So, GameWith, let's take that first set and let's have the strongest 1v1 player. It is going to be KK from GameWith.
Been a while.
It's been a while. He has 68% win rate. That's insane. And with Ram Rider, 3 out of 3, just having a lot of cards, just having those signature cards in 100% win rate position.
Yeah, Lava Hound, really good with that.
Yeah, Lava Inferno Dragon, that has been a good deck for KK.
He's a very solid player. We've seen him play extremely well.
But not with the Sparky. Not with the Sparky. And also, Minion Horde is actually one of the cards that KK uses a lot, 3 out of 4. And along with that Battle Ram, so let's see if that comes out at all. Jai is up once again here.
Yeah, absolutely. The Minion Horde's been getting a little bit more play because it's, the poison tends to be the favorite spell or snowball, so it's a little harder to deal with it fully. So every once in a while, you're able to use something like a Miner and an Ice Golem or a Prince in front of it, and you're able to get some extra damage.
We had a lot of heavy decks, but with the RG ban and the P.E.K.K.A ban, maybe we'll see some cycles coming out, especially we have KK on the stage. Let's see. GameWith, if they take set number 2, they are going to be that finalist. Brent Esports, gotta come back here.
Yeah, if KK can take this, it'll send them to the finals. Jai fighting for the life of Brent Esports here to send it to the King of the Hill to see if they can find a way to get themselves in the finals. Miner placed top right, a log to back it off just to save it from a few extra hits.
All of the spells are available, so just making sure if he has Tornado or not. Don't want to activate the King Tower this early.
Right, exactly. So Mega Minions will just trade damage with each other. Some minions here from KK. Will there be anything? Just an E-Wiz.
Yeah, P.E.K.K.A. RG Ben, perfect use for lots of minor prince poison cycles.
Yep, double Dark Princes.
Just got a Zap and Long, so let's see what his choice will be actually.
Yeah, KK feels like the Giant double Prince deck, but we'll see exactly what he's got behind it. You can use Goblin Giant in front of it. Okay, it is the regular Giant with a big push. Both of them opting to use the Giant Princes. So not quite a mirror, but pretty darn close.
Top. Doing a whole lot of damage into the top right.
Oh boy. Jai forced to use a Zap there because otherwise those minions would have got a couple extra swipes in after they finished off the Prince here. So advantage KK on the first Giant versus Giant trade.
Yeah, for 1v1 in Asia, actually Minions has the highest win rate. It's the highest win rate card with 57%. You wouldn't really expect the Minion to change a whole lot of things, but it survives the Zap, survives the Snowball, and it can make a lot of different things happen.
Yeah, it's a really annoying unit. It handles the Mega Minion fairly well if placed correctly, and the damage output is pretty high from those 3 units. So using a log there to get rid of the Dark Prince's shield, but they still wipe each other out, and we've just got Giant v Giant setups here with the Princes behind.
So a few of the different things will be KK having that Miner certainly. It's going to change things up with that Fireball landing on top.
That wipes out the Mega Minion. Now you can use the Miner to try to get the E-Wizard, but great Dark Prince placement to divert the Miner's attention.
That was some crazy reflexes. Giant knew that Miner was coming for that E-Wiz perfectly timed. Good D, E-Wiz is going to survive. Cancel all those charges, not to the Giant though.
This is dire here, because that is a lot of Prince, but great Fireball and Zap to clean it all up. So the defense is quite good from KK there. That looks real scary for a second.
Yeah, but with that extra Zap, actually evens out with that extra Zap from Jai coming down too. So this comes down to the wire, but more damage, certainly a lot more damage done from KK's side from the early punches from the Giant.
Yep, and now it looks like we're going to see something similar. How will KK change up how he deals with this? Both of them playing about the same kind of thing. Now that log does reset the charges, so that's a nice advantage for Jai in that situation.
As you do want to keep on pushing with the area damage, Dark Prince. Let's finish the Prince on the back. The Miner's still doing the damage, so Jai does not really have like a Goblin Gang that's going to soak up a lot of minor damage. He only has a lot of one big units.
Yeah, all you've got is the Prince or the Dark Prince, and you don't exactly want to do that. Now the damage from the Dark Prince is going through into the Princess Tower. A huge moment there for Jai.
Just a little bit off for KK. Almost timed it really well. Here's the big push. Bridge spam from Jai.
E-Wiz comes down here. So that's the big difference here. And E-Wiz traded for a Miner basically, and a few other differences as well with the minions being used by KK.
Yeah, the Zap onto the side so it doesn't really connect, but the Miner doing 3 damage once again. And that has been the real issue.
Even with that E-Wiz slowing this up, it's still such high DPS from that Prince that Giant only gets halfway.
Even Prince gets into the Fireball. Perfect. That wasn't even predict. Fireball was used before the before the Prince.
KK was fine with that, just getting the Mega Minion and the E-Wiz.
KK knew it. Okay, he's not just going to send this E-Wiz for free. He's going to line up with some other unit. He's having a read like that. It's
and then he
incredible.
reads that Prince placement. He knew he could go for that back corner that time. The Dark Prince was placed in front.
Giant placed onto the right, so it removes all the area damage going into the Prince on the back. It's a great placement. These kind of little placement changes are actually making KK win the game here.
Good E-Wiz from Jai there to keep that off, but now he's got stuff in front. It's kind of a problem
Even
here.
a Zap span, so a lot of Elixir had to come down for that defense. And time's taking 50 seconds to go.
Just needs to play defense here. Getting a little bit of damage, but now this is a pretty healthy Giant coming through here. You've got the minions on the back. It does get 2 punches.
Just 2. till the end, but still 700 more to go for Jai. And the miner, again, connecting into the tower.
Now it's just Fireball. There it is. KK will take game number 1 here. Really, really good change-ups from KK, adjusting his rotations on the fly, finding some really nice fireballs, finding some nice miner placements. He is so good.
I mean, all the Japanese teams this season, they all have superstars, just like Southeast Asia. And specialist 1v1s are just incredible. They're just so good. I mean, Zeros, moving on to the coach role, comes in directly to show him everything for his teammates. Oh man, but those minor predictions and the mind games in between the two players were pretty cool to see. And it's somewhat unfortunate for Jai to actually have a similar deck, but against Miner, if you have like a Dark Prince or the Prince against the Miner, it's not going to line up with your own push. It's really hard to get enough elixirs, and for the timing, it screws your cycle too, so it's actually really hard to defend against Miner.
Yeah, a bit of a timing issue there for KK when that Dark Prince was able to hit through the other one because of that extended range of that mace that he uses. But the fireballs were really good, and you're right. It's weird going back to your point about the miner versus the other not having the miner. Like, what are your answers for the miner? You got Ewiz, Dark Prince, and Prince. That all stinks.
Yeah, and then Ewiz, you want to just have to cancel the charges from coming down from the other side.
Yes.
So if you place it all the way from the back of your Prince's tower, it's really hard to calculate the timing. And even if you have a lot of practice, those kind of cycles can be really hard.
Right, and any damage to the Ewiz, and then he dies to the fireball.
Yeah. Yeah, when everything's stacked up together, I think KK also has really nice fireballs. Even predicting some of the units to be coming down onto the bridge, like the Prince that we saw. There's some spell values there.
Yeah, dirty stuff here from KK. Jai's got to find a way to turn around. If anyone can do it, it's definitely him. He is an excellent player, as we saw earlier when he 2-0'd Expo Master. So KK here looking to just close this out for Game With and send them to the finals. Definitely deserve it, does Game With and Brent Esports. Both teams have played extremely well. But man, Game With's 1v1s have been so good this year.
You know, KK is not even sending any other energy. He wants to concentrate every single part of his energy into his fingers and channel that into the device. It's actually a match point for Game With. One more game for KK. It's going to put them into that grand finals. Can Jai bring it back for Brent Esports, game number 2?
It's like the main character in My Hero Academia. He can just like focus all of his energy into his finger and just like flick it. Just like blows everything up.
You're just so on with all this anime.
I watch so much anime, dude.
I know kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a good show. You'd like it, I think.
Yes, I'll follow that later on. We have to have KK, but another Musketeer with the Battle Ram.
All right, now we've got the minions here for Jai. And a Prince as well with the Battle Ram this time.
Yeah, Musketeer does go down, so the KK wanted to keep that Musketeer. That's why he dropped that Prince. Expensive unit to actually burn that down already.
Mega Knight from Jai. It's not often you see the Mega Knight when a player has it just dropped like that so early, but he feels pretty confident about whatever he's got going on behind it. I mean, by the time it gets to the bridge, and okay, it's going to be a Battle Ram of his own here. So we're going to drag the Mega Knight into the middle.
Into the left side in total. So getting everything together, and that Bandit, along with that Barbarian, does connect a few more shots.
KK's thinking now. He's like, ooh, how do I cycle this? I mean, the Prince isn't terrible against the Mega Knight if you can get to it without the jump. And you can do decent damage there.
Yeah, basically how do you outcycle your opponent for that Battle Ram charging into the tower? That's your main win condition for both.
Dark Prince is just so good against Battle Ram. What will we see here from KK? It's just another Ice Golem. Not ready to reveal that final card just yet that he's got in there. Could be Miner, but I don't think so. I think he would have probably used a Miner by now.
A strong one would just be a P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah. Could definitely be a P.E.K.K.A.
With that
Could
Ice Golem,
yeah.
Can see some variant of that.
Yeah. I feel like it's something heavy. There's the poison, of course, from Jai. And we'll see exactly what KK has in store for us here. All right. Mara Barrel and a Dark Prince. Now we're going to get some bandits charging at each other here.
And with that, the charging in Battle Ram, the drag is actually super real. You want to get all the charges off and then all the drags that Ice Golem. Oh, never mind with that Ice Golem. KK's got to have a spell here, not a P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah. It definitely.
Trying to get some dash into. That's how not going to happen with the perfect bar barrel. You want to get that 320 damage with the dash from the bandit. It mostly has been just a minion damage coming down from both players.
Yeah, actually, the Dark Prince is causing a lot of problems here for KK. He's not finding great answers onto it. There's the Prince who gets chased and then jumped on.
He just charges into the top right, but the Dark Prince, pretty good defending here.
Yeah, I mean, you got the minions here to help clean up, but it's not going to be enough, especially with that Ewiz back there as well. And your Ice Golem just isn't tanky enough.
After the second jump.
Ooh, it doesn't get that second jump, but the Ewiz, you know, it's just, that Dark Prince is so hard to deal with.
Yeah, that's the funnest part. As all these other things, like the bandit dashes away, so, and then when it's dashing, it doesn't take any damage, but the Mega Knight does.
Right.
This one's actually a pretty big push. What's happening on the left side?
Oh, they do get the charge. The Ice Golem was not there in time. And now he's going to try the Battle Ram in the top right. The minions are available this time.
Yeah, it's going to be just enough. But still, Barb's connecting just a little bit. Bandit has to come down. So great responses coming down from Jai too.
All right, the minions will be here, but that Bandit's going to get his charge. Okay. This time, KK's starting to turn it around here. He's starting to get some advantages in the cycles.
And the Bandit, great placement for KK having some predictions right in the middle.
Yep, there's that Dark Prince, but this time it might have been a little late.
Charges
it was!
once more! Into that Dark Prince soaking damage, 379.
All right, just waiting for that last spell from KK Fireball. Something like that is most likely what it's going to be. Just trying to see if he can get it into that damage range.
So even chipping in the giant snowball would be huge. Jai needs to finish it right now. He wants to get all that Ice Golem soaking so much. Only the poison doing some damage.
All right, he's able to defend this successfully. Just a little bit more damage onto this tower. That Prince is coming through just in time.
Yep, dash onto the left doesn't really matter too much. Just getting the shield out from the charge of the Prince. KK getting some more with the dashes. He's getting really, really close.
Okay, this is so close right now. Oh, just getting that charge damage up on the top left as well, I believe, and a Barbarian swipe here.
Okay, this is going to be a big push, and the Battle Ram onto the left. KK is going to be okay with the minions. 379 to put you in that finals.
One shot. Okay, just needs the spell.
And a Fireball will actually just finish it. I think he has it. That's it. The final game, KK has a 2-0 against Jai. He's bringing GameWit into that grand finals.
Wow, KK comes back for GameWith and takes it 2-0 against Jai. A great season for Bren Esports, but now GameWith will be in our finals. The first team is confirmed.
What a moment for GameWit, coming back in just a year and going to that finals. Of course, the first place from regular season of Group A, they had all the great games coming in together. Bren Esports, they were also really strong. And just lacking just a little bit against 1v1 today. They had real good chances. Let's see what they can do in the next season.
Yeah, they looked so strong. SEA really stepped up across the board this season. All of their teams played so well this season. And I know Jai is really hurting right now. He played so well. The whole team this season played great. They were a pleasure to watch. That one was tough, but GameWith, congratulations to them. They have looked unstoppable at times.
GameWit is going to come out hard. Bren Esports, they still have to play that third placement match happening next week. And going for that third place, because until third place gets you a ticket to WCG Grand Finals. So this is the result for Group A playoffs. OP.GAMING going for one more match, and then Bren Esports going to that final match. GameWit is going to be on top.
Yeah, it's definitely something to still play for Brent Esports. Of course, you know, there's the third place money, and like you said, a chance to go to the WCG finals in Xi'an in July. So they can still do something here, and they can regroup, and we'll see them one more time next Saturday, a week from today, and that's going to be real exciting,
Man,
G-Clef.
this felt like the grand finals already, but this is only Group A we're talking about. And you know the next screen that we have coming up very soon. Very soon.
Very, very soon.
Very, very soon. Less than 24 hours. It's going to be live, and it's going to be good. You better get ready.
I am really excited. Group B is so stacked.
Woohoo!
I mean, Kicks and Chaos. All 4 SCA teams made it through, by the way. And Kicks versus Entis to start it off, and then Ponos in the middle and Chaos on top. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. I mean, Kicks look really good, too. I think they have the most chance of just beating OGN. They're up against Ponos if they win, and Chaos Theory, the gods, standing on top. I don't know what's gonna come out. That's I just cannot decide. I can't even predict.
It's
They're so good.
It's so hard. I mean, Ponos has been shaky at times this year, but then at other times, like they, for whatever reason, when they get to King of the Hill, it's like they're a different team.
Yeah.
But they've struggled in 2v2s at times, and then
And Mikambuya not doing so well in that 1v1, and then last weekend and then the week before, suddenly Mikambuya is doing pretty well again in that 1v1 match, and also King of the Hill.
yeah.
So actually, we do not know what's gonna happen tomorrow. That's crazy. I think Ponos has a really good chance, of course. Chaos Theory also.
What we need to find out with Chaos Theory is if you ban Mortar against Benzer, does he have an answer?
Or if you ban Benzer, do you have an answer?
That's just not fair, G-Clef. That's hacks. We can't do that.
I mean, he's so good. You got to do something. I mean,
I know.
That's what that's what one of the teams actually tried here, and it worked. Yeah, it was Talon banning Benzer. It worked for that 1v1 there, but you can't do that anymore, of course.
Yeah, we'll see. Talon, they found a weakness in Benzer. Can these other teams also exploit that? But Benzer, I guarantee you, will be practicing some other things and bringing some new ideas and decks to the table. He's just too good to hold down. I mean, he is the best Mortar player. One of the best, if not the best, Mortar players in the world.
And OGN's got some chances too. I think TNT is one of the stronger players in Korea. He's got some really good potential. I mean, if you keep on winning 1v1, you never lose the entire match. So all these 4 great teams will be competing again in Group B. Playoffs happening just tomorrow. Do not forget, keep on tuning into Clash Royale League Asia. That's it for Group A. But tomorrow, come back with Group B.